back to the Have Not Room. I am Ben, joined as always by Brian Chad. But tonight we have a very special guest. We have Cameron Hardin from Big Brother 25 here to talk about the season. We are very happy to have him here to talk about Big Brother 27, talk about week 4. He was a week 4 HOH, so maybe he can give some insight from his experience on the show. Cameron, how have you been enjoying the season so far?
Sucks. It's terrible. No, dude, I am super excited. I'm sure we're gonna get down in the weeds and stuff, and you'll find out the more that we talk that my thought process kind of leans on where's production going with this. So that was always like my navigational beacon for what's coming next in the game. Well, how many people do we got left? How many kind of competitions do they normally run around this number of people? What type of people are in the house right now? What what kind is there punishments going on? What kind of competition follows after a punishment? So my brain was always kicking during the game trying to figure out what was going to come next, and I'm still doing it now. So looking at season 27, I love the production of it. I love the fact that they've taken their template for the Big Brother, just pudding that they always put together every year and deliver. And they brought in a lot of elements from other shows that are doing very successful in the reality world, like Traders, like Challenge, of course, Survivor. There's all of these different types of elements. And of course, Big Brother's going to take all those things and throwing them in their already existing pretty sick, concoction they got there. They're going to churn it up a little bit, and you're going to come out with an interesting product that brings in a lot of different types of people. So right now, the coolest thing about Big Brother 27 to me is the show itself. And I'm not saying that I'm a TV show versus a live feeder. I grew up with the show. I literally have been watching since day one, and I fell in love with Big Brother. So the fact that they're bringing all of these people in, and some of us can be a little bit protective of our baby, and we're like, whoa, don't bring that Love Island shit in here, calm down. Like, no, dude, I love it. Bring them in, dude. The more people, the merrier. This is my favorite TV show of all time, and the fact that I was on it is the coolest thing. I'm like an alumni. You go back to your high school reunion, and dudes wearing letter jackets. They had a pretty big staple on what went on during your school years, right? So it's like it's really cool to be watching my favorite show and retroactively kind of dissecting it as I go along and going, wow, can't believe they really pulled that trick or did that twist or so what I love about the season right now is that it is wide open. Have you noticed that people are going like, who's your favorite player? No one can answer. No one has a legitimate concrete for going, I'm pulling for so-and-so. And that is exactly what you want your mix to be. I don't want, specific ingredients to stick out in the cake. I just want it to taste like cake. So the fact that we don't know who your favorite player is tells you everything you need to know about how successful the casting went for the show, because we have a bunch of big characters and we have a bunch of people that are kind of mid-range, and we got a bunch of people that are fighting for TV time and or clickbait or cool shit. So there's all kind of elements rolling around that make you like this one, hate this one. Wow, the fact that they got together, now it's making me questioning this one. I don't really know. I thought they had better intuition than that. So it's like your brain is constantly going, who is my favorite? And you don't know. It's like restrictor plate racing in NASCAR. It's like, who's going to win today? I don't know. They all got the same damn car. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, I think especially after this week, and we're going to talk about it, a lot of people were very high on Mickey and Morgan coming into this week, and we're very happy with the earlier results. But based off of what they've done now with Mickey's HOH, now I'm seeing everyone's like, I'm done with Mickey and Morgan. I don't like them anymore. So it's like, because of how chaotic the cast is, it's very hard to really have a rooting interest and really kind of follow what's going on. And because a lot of the players are acting so irrationally, you can't, there's not really something to grab onto in a normal season where you're like, oh, here's this alliance and here's this alliance, and I'm rooting for this one over this one. It's it's such an amalgamation. Yeah, it's so wild.
Going together. That's why we're so confused. And I got to give credit because, if Hotel Mystere is what they were going for, they damn got it. You know what I mean? We got a bunch of people that don't know what's going on, including us. You have to glue to the feeds just so you don't miss that one pivotal conversation, because it's not them just hanging around talking about their favorite color or their second favorite color or their dead dog's name. You know, like they're not short on conversations, and that's what I love about the blockbuster. You can be an anti-blockbuster person if you want to, but the fact remains that it throws a wrinkle in every single week. This entire game is so much different than it was 2 years ago. It is a very
Yeah.
different landscape, and I
Mhm.
don't think now. I will say that there's always an innovator that comes along that changes things up and makes you go, wow, I can't believe none of us thought to make that kind of move. Right. So, I mean, there's a plethora of decisions that to point at in Big Brother and go, that was the moment that this power changed. I remember when the power veto was introduced and we were like, what is this?
Hmm.
Right? And then I remember when they brought on the first few weeks twists is what I call it, because
Hmm.
every twist that they would bring on in the beginning of a season would dissipate by week 5. And you're like, all right, now we're playing Big Brother. And people started utilizing those twists to their advantage, knowing that they're setting themselves up for middle game. And then there were innovations like huge moves, like, of course, Dan's funeral. That could not have happened without the power of veto and all of the different, punishments that had been laid out. Had there been no isolation punishment for Dan, he wouldn't have had time to think himself into the funeral. So all of these elements that we're bringing to the game, and people are saying you're ruining the game, dude. I think it makes sense. You just got to figure out how to innovate something that's probably going to be a staple. And I don't think that we've gotten like the full potential of how someone could treat an HOH yet, because right now we're still centrally focused on playing old school Big Brother. Put up
Hmm.
the big target, hope to God he doesn't win a veto,
Mhm.
have a plan B, roll into Thursday night knowing what we're going to do with our plan B. But I don't think we're utilizing, you know, backdoor. I think we're attempting to utilize a backdoor somehow, and that's not the way to play a 3-person nomination. And I haven't seen anyone come out with a plan on how to use the game to their advantage. So until we get an HOH that puts up 2 pawns and a target, or no pawns, or all 3 pawns, like until we get a legit backdoor kind of movement to where someone is utilizing the 3-person. Right now, every HOH that goes into office leaves very shakily because they just nominated 4 or 5 people. Well, all right, if we're going to nominate 4 or 5 people every week, how about I put some people in there that I want to earn their respect and or make them nervous? I want to put this person in, make them think that they are the target so that they fight harder. I can place the blame over there on that side. They told me that they wanted your name up. Don't come at me. Shit like that. There's all kind of ways to play, and I don't think we've seen it used yet. So the blockbuster and all of the cool twists and fun activities that happen, I haven't seen anyone use it yet. I don't even remember what the damn question was, but there you go. Told you.
No,
No,
that was great. And
yeah, go
I
ahead,
think
Brian.
like this season so far, there's been more days where I've woken up and been like, wait, what happened overnight on feeds than like the last few seasons combined. And, you know, the 5 finger plan kind of made them shift and have to do drawing for the veto. And then people were like, okay, well, we'll just backdoor, in hope that people say, I think what happened was Big Brother kind of lost momentum in the end of the week where it's like, okay, Monday the renom happens and then like it's kind of known who's going to go by Thursday, and there weren't like these big exciting moments. And I think production has figured out how to always have this big exciting moment with the blockbuster. I mean,
Yep.
I can't think of and I'm a huge nerd. I spend so much time thinking about how to break, these twists in games. I haven't figured out a way to play around the blockbuster. Like, you need your target to be on the block on the eviction night, but like there's no way you can guarantee that they're going to be on the block when the votes actually happen. So I think whoever came up with Blockbuster deserves a raise. Like what a
Yeah. Well,
interesting thing.
it's a twofold kind of operation. So you got, I mean, let's face it, Big Brother has a stranglehold on the live production. Like, there's no other game is offering you 24/7, right?
Right.
So Big Brother's like, all right, well, we got lockdown on live feeds. That's pretty cool. So how do we get people directed to the Thursday episode? How do we keep the not only just keep the television show afloat, but how do we utilize it to maximize our audience? And they were like, well, let's have the freaking Super Bowl, Daytona 500, and the Kentucky Derby all in one. Let's do it on every week, like once a week. It's just battle royale, and who survives is the gladiator to move on. So they brought on this element that's like, all of us go into Thursday having no idea what's going to happen. Used to, we go in on a Thursday and go, all right, 50-50. Let's see how they reacted. Let's see what kind of conversations were happening leading up to all of this. And production is known to lie. Therefore, we're probably also going to get blindsided. You know, that was the only other option. It was like, do we know or do we not know?
Yeah, it's 50-50 on a good week, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
most of the time it's
it
like
was either
80, 20,
that
90, 10.
or landslide 10 votes.
Yeah.
Right? We were like, what a boring Thursday. We just went into a Thursday night going, I hope to God I get to see the HOH competition.
Yeah.
That was our only thought. Like, I hope I get to see, I hope Friday morning when I go to work to talk to my buddies, I hope I know who has power this week.
Yeah.
You know, that was my only thought. Now you go into a Thursday and you're like, holy shit. Oh my God, if so-and-so goes home, then it's these two. And right now, these two are controlled by this one, but this one is, and you're like, oh my God, well, then what if that one wins? And then I show up and freaking Kelly wins again. And I'm like, what is happening? What is this game? What is this? And I'm like, I'm freaking hooked, dude. This is the shit. So I'm in it hard. And then you roll in, and then I'm like, damn, I still don't know who won the head of household. So now I'm just scouring the whole time. I just stay on Instagram for an update. So it's like, that's like crack, man. They know what they're doing. It's really cool. And I think that they've taken this, and the other portion of that was, you know, we're bringing in a greater audience, and this is great. But the other thing that it brings on is an element of combative competition, just battling it out. And that's that element from the challenge. I mean, challenge has such amazing success because it's one of the only shows where you can see literal head-to-head action. It's NFL Sunday. I mean, I get to watch these dudes go hard against each other, and I get to watch all of the scheming and the fun on the background leading up to the battle. And now we're all these, you get to get face shots of everyone standing watching the competition and their hopes and dreams just hinging on this, the last 3 seconds of this competition. It's television gold. So when you have that combative element, it brings on a new vigor. It brings on a new, like foaming at the mouth, fanatical support for this television show. So it's bringing on this, like, bringing on the live crowd. We got the live feeders and all of their analytics and stats and spreadsheets. And then we got what they call the casual viewer, or the people that just enjoy watching reality television. By the way, don't hate on casual viewers.
Oh yeah.
They
They're the ones
have an
keeping the show
AARP
on
card, and they
the
can
top.
get you into a movie at half price. So don't hate on the casual viewers, right? So you have all of that, and then you have these people that just happen to be watching TV and they love live combative stuff, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is exciting!" So that person's gone now; they're just gone, and like, yeah. And then there's other people, they get to stay, and it's like, it's just crazy. You bring in so many different types of people with so many different types of gameplay that it's shifting what we used to think Big Brother was. We used to think Big Brother was Will and Dan and Janelle and you know, Casey, and it was on the backslide of some of the newer, older Big Brother, you know. And then you bring in elements like the Cookout, which is, my God, my favorite alliance of all time. They were freaking Sherman marching to the sea. It was a bloodbath every week, but it was so kind and delicate. It was insane. So we brought on all of these elements from the old show, and now we're bringing in new viewers, and we're bringing in this live audience, and we're bringing all these elements in, and it's shifting to a new, very cutthroat, very performative based show, to where it's like, you either show up or you're getting gone. There's not going to be any more of this, and I'm not making a dig here, but there's not going to be any more of the old people coming in and setting the tone. I mean, you're going to have some people that want to come in, you know, 50 or above, and they're going to set the world on fire with cool diary room sessions or funny little quirks in the house, and America's going to love them. But it's going to be really hard for them to compete for these ever evolving games where it's getting more and more athletic, more and more timed, more and more strength based, more and more endurance based. So these crap shots, these crapshoot games of putting something or throwing a dart at a wall or something, like that's, we're in a new era and we have to embrace it. I mean, you have to embrace the change and ride the wave for where the show goes. So it's like, well, this is where we are. So this has been so much fun watching the evolution of the game, and it's now this didn't happen when I was such a huge fan years and years ago. I didn't have the opportunity to see my favorite players talk about shit like this.
Mhm.
It's so crazy to see behind the curtain and have so many more people involved in it now. So I love where the game's at now, and I just want to keep riding the wave.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I think, I'm a big fan of the traders. Me and my fiance watch every season,
Love
and
traders.
just I love the theme of it. I like how they're doing the Hotel Mystere. It kind of reminds me of the traders a lot. But the traders, all the competitions are these like grandiose. They're like the challenge in a way,
Yeah.
and I like how Big Brother is starting to shift toward these more like tougher competitions where it's not just like oh, I hit my ball the best, so I'm HOH this week. It's not as crapshooty.
Right.
So I think that draws a lot of crowds. So I love, the blockbuster twist because, 20 minutes before the final eviction, you don't even know who's going to be on the block. You have to have a plan A, B, and C just in case, the right person's not sitting next to the right person. And then your alliance has to agree on the right guy. It's just like, it feels like a double eviction every week, like that same energy you get from double eviction night. And
It's
this
nuts.
season so far
Yeah,
has been
you're right.
awesome.
You're right. And it's like people get mad at production. They're like, stop changing the game. It's like, it's their damn game. So what are you talking about? It's like saying, Mom, don't paint the house. It's her damn house. She's going to paint it. Like, what are you talking about?
No,
I mean,
I mean we were very high in the AI arena last year, and we were very high on. We're very glad that they brought the blockbuster back this year because, like we said, at least they have not solved it yet. No one has solved the way to play it, and I think that something that we saw last season and also so far this season is that with the blockbuster and with having to nominate 3 people, it exposes bad players way more. Like I think. Looking at last season and this season, it feels like there were a lot more bad players than in previous seasons, like in the 20 through 25 range. That every season felt like a good portion of the cast knew what they were doing. Whereas last season it was like Chelsea, and then like who's the second best player back for Chelsea? It's like you really have to start digging. And like this season, everyone's kind of a mess. And I think a lot of that really comes down to the blockbuster twist exposing bad players way more because. People, like you said, people are trying to play as if the twist doesn't exist and play like they normally would play pre-AI Arena, pre-Blockbuster, and it just does not work. It's not how you have to approach the twist.
There's going to be an adjustment period. If this is going to be a staple in the game, no one has figured out how to thwart the system yet. And if I were there, that would be the thing I'd be thinking on trying to figure out. I got to figure out if Keanu is my damn target, and this dude has won 2 vetoes. Granted, he didn't win the first one himself, but he got 2 vetoes. Dude got off the block. All right. So what do we do? And Kelly's going to win Blockbuster. Even if she doesn't, whoever put next to her is going to be stressing, figuring out how to beat her. So it's like, how do you get rid of that? How do you manage this type of game? And I don't know the answer to it yet. I mean, but something has to change. And I think the biggest thing that has to change is recognizing, almost like Rachel did, this is a completely different game than we're used to watching in the past. Us OG fans, like we're used to seeing things run on time like a train. Like we know what's going to happen each day. We know what we're looking for, and we can dissect the conversations and move around and kind of know what's going on. But in a game like this where it's just mass chaos and every day you don't know what's going on, it adds an element that you can't set your clock on it. You don't really know what's going to happen. And typically after the veto ceremony is done, everyone breathes for that stretch of a few days right there after the veto is done. Everyone is like, okay, if you're on the block, okay, time to strategize. I know who I need to talk to. I'll catch them after lunch. But if you're not on the block, you're like, good, I'm going to go lay back in the hammock. I don't feel like talking game right now. I'm good. So it brings that element of I can coast I can coast down, in the wind. If you're a cyclist, the wind's at my back, I can coast for a little bit, save some energy. So that element is what people aren't, I think, assessing enough and trying to figure out how to exploit the emotions uh, of the 3-person nomination, because what throws it into such an insane quandary every week for me is, of Big Brother old, we could, like I said, we understood the clock. 2 people get nominated, we go play the veto. I'm either wanting to backdoor somebody or the target's up there. They didn't win the veto. Good to go. Thursday night, so-and-so's going home. It's just like clockwork. We got it. And the 2 people that go on the block are typically like, oh man, this sucks. I got to win veto, blah, blah, blah. Do the whole deal. And you basically your week revolves around those 2 people's emotions and how well are they going to be able to handle the block. And which means 10 other people or 12 other people now are they get to play the game. They get to sit, listen to information, figure out who they want to vote for, how they're going to play, whether or not they're going to win the veto. They can kind of gauge it out. But now in New Big Brother, you have one additional emotional person. Now you got 3 people sitting on the block trying to figure out how to get off. Not only that, you as a voter also know, come Thursday night, one of those people is coming down. So now you don't even know where to put your chips on the table. So there's this element of the unknown constantly that throws everything in disarray. And the only way that I know how to operate out of something like that is attempt to control the chaos, is attempt to throw the wrench in the right place where I can designate kind of the outcome or a landing spot for the chaos. And I don't think anyone has figured out yet how to put 3 specific people up to make a specific statement to take the direction of your game in a certain direction. So I don't know how to do it. You guys are smarter than me. I'm sure you figured out.
Yeah, I think anything people are just overcomplicating it now. That seems to be my take on at least how the HOHs this season have operated so far. Is they're playing scared. They're very much like playing to try to upset the fewest amount of people. But when you try to upset as few amount of people as possible, what often ends up happening is you upset everyone a little bit, and then that kind of just snowballs. And so by trying to upset no one, you end up upsetting everyone.
The tone for the seasons to come, once this thing starts to evolve, I think the tone for the seasons to come is, I didn't put you on the block because I want you gone. I put you on the block because we got a battle. We got 2 big ass competitions coming up, and I want my biggest soldiers out there on the front line, and because so-and-so's got to go home. I'm the team captain this week. We're marching forward. Y'all go get all the power. I will make sure that so-and-so gets their ass on the block come Thursday night. And I'm going to surround it with people that I know are definitely, hard chargers for the blockbuster. I'm going to put people in there that are in danger of going home. So they're going to fight harder. They're going to go after each other. They're going to create struggle and strife on the block and direct attention away from me, the outgoing HOH. And I think if anyone has figured out a way to kind of put that plan forward, it may work. Something might change and click in people, and they'll realize no hard feelings going up on the block this week. We all got to battle at some point. It's your turn to battle this week. And I don't think anyone's going to go into that and have come out with a positive emotion. Someone's going to get pissed that their number got called. So there's just no way around it.
Will.
Well, yeah. The thing is, right? I think that's a good mentality to have as an HOH, though, and I don't think that's the mentality that people are taking up right now, where it's acknowledging that some people are going to be pissed at what you do, and just being like, it is what it is. I have to do what's best for my game, and yeah, maybe a few people are going to be pissed at me, but that's just Big Brother. You got to crack some eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah, when you get down to about 6 people or so, the decisions get slim on who you're going to choose for what. And then it's all kind of like, no, I get it. I understand. There's only so many people in the house. I got to go on the block. And, I got to fight for veto. We're all competing for veto this week. So, it doesn't matter who goes on the block. So if we had that mentality going into a lot more of these, we'd have some different kind of gameplay. It would start to shape up a little bit more like challenge, where you would see people aligning with power, aligning with strengths, aligning with two different groups in the house, aligning with people that are going to be good at certain competitions, and the competition play kind of it holds bigger weight to the decision making process in your alliances now. It's less about trust and more about, can you get the ball across the goal line when it comes time? Can I count on you to win this competition? We're here to win. I need you to win. I think the days of sitting in the top row and kind of watching the game from afar and floating your way to the middle of the game is, in theory, it's going to work. Look at Will, look at Ava. You're going to have these people that kind of find their way to the middle, but eventually you're going to get put up. You're going to go home because you can't win anything.
Yeah, and I think we saw that on your season with Cerise Alliance, like getting rid of Heisem too early, probably for them, because then they couldn't win. Or like Jared was the only one who could win anything from that side of the house, and I wonder if because of this like focus on challenges, if people like Keanu, who was like kind of a house pariah, has now shown that like, okay, you can put me up, but I'm gonna take myself down, a bunch of times. If like it's kind of like, okay, well, we shouldn't target him. We should just try to use him. Like he's obviously like
He's
the
going to be
biggest,
sticking around.
strongest guy here.
It'd be
He's
dumb of me not to try to work with this guy.
right. To try to
Now I think
use
that
him to
people are
get
starting to
power on
connect
your
the
side.
dots.
Yeah.
Because
Even though he's like
the people in the house right now are the most connected to season 26, which was the unveiling of the AI arena. So they're the ones that are most. This is the first gameplay. We thought it was just a fun twist. I don't think it was supposed to last as long as it did in the first season. I honestly don't. I think they saw some success with it, so they were like, let's keep kind of playing with this thing. So they left it. And I think that now this is the first full season of someone that watched the strategy around AI Arena, and I think that they're still trying to figure it out. Like, how do I adapt to something that's uncontrollable? So it's such a weird way to be, and I don't now like I said, now they're trying to figure out how to use this thing, and I think they have not yet realized that relationship building and bonding, as we saw in seasons of old, has to kind of take a little bit of a change. It has to evolve as well with this new game play strategy that are now stuck with. This is going to be a staple in the game for a while. So it's like, how do we use it to our advantage? So I just don't think that. I think that we're still in the transition period of trying to figure out how to use this power. This is the first full season, and we finally get to watch someone kind of mess it up for a while before someone comes out of the woodwork and goes, I think I know how I would do this. And I think that it might happen on an all-star season where people kind of understand, we're not building relationships and alliances and all this kind of crazy shit here. We've all been through the ringer. We know we're here to play the game. And, like, emotions are a little different. So it's like, I'm not sad to see, in a season like this, you kind of tear up a little bit when Adrian goes home, because this dude went for broke just to get on the season, right? Yeah. He gave everything he had just to get there, and that's what a lot of us did. A lot of us gave everything we had just for an opportunity to play on our favorite show. And that's where the emotion comes in when you see one of your house guests leave and everyone is so tearful and they're like, whatever. And everyone else is going, oh my God, you only knew that guy for 2 weeks. Why are you so emotional? And like, you don't get it.
No,
it's the sense is, I'm emotional because this dude's dreams just got shattered. I've spent 2 weeks with this guy. We have become friends. I don't want my friend that gave everything they had just to be here to come up short and be told that they were nothing, and to be an embarrassment, and to be the third boot. Like, that's where the emotion comes from, and that's what people, I don't think, kind of connect it and put it all together in that way. So yeah, when it comes to an all-star season, there's a bit of a different sense there, where it's like, you had your shot. Like, I don't fucking go home. I don't care. Like, I don't like, get out of my way, dude. Like, you've had your shot. This is your second shot. Get the hell out of my way. So it's a little bit different. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's going to be emotions. People are going to be pissed that they didn't win money, but
Right.
you know,
I think,
we're
like,
kind of seasoned in the act of being disappointed and being let down and being told to go home and all kind of. So it would be a different way, and that's the way that I see that the first time that we're going to see the blockbuster get utilized as a potential strategy. I think it'll be in one of those seasons where there's less emotions involved about sending certain people home.
Yeah. And I think, what you kind of laid out with, like, this is, you got to really tell everyone, like, we got to fight, we got to go for it. Maybe the only, like, thing you can do is, like, try to find the person who you think, one, really good at comps, two, kind of has a bit of an ego about how good they are in comps, and kind of turn them into, like, your champion,
Yeah.
And, like, every week it's like, you're on the block, we're still boys, we're friends, but I need you to win that blockbuster so that we can keep the nominees the same. Kind of like Tucker did to himself last season. But I don't know if that's just because he was bored.
Something I
and just
saw.
wanted to play. But
Are you guys in any of the BB draft? Like,
no, we
No. We don't
y'all
do
strike
any
me
of
as like
fantasy
fantasy
stuff.
football players, man. I thought you'd be in a
we are
draft.
fantasy football.
fantasy
We do
football.
wear
Okay,
Yeah.
we might need to talk about that later.
All right, yeah.
I am in. So I've done these Big Brother pools for a couple years now. Now I'm doing them with basically my family. So there's like
Mhm.
8 to 10 of us just kind of just doing this thing. And for the first time, I realized that like everyone's picks this year were off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one, and I'll tell you, and you've probably seen it in your own content, guys. That like the way that you selected certain people that you were like, these people are going to go far. This person is going to be like this.
Mhm.
This person is going to play this kind of strategy. I'm going to like this one. They're going to be like America's favorite player. This is going to be a comp feast. This is going to be the person that's going to be funny on the feeds. Like we had our whole like, because we're Big Brother experts. We got this shit. Yeah. Completely wrong. Completely.
Yes.
Like everything was
Yeah.
so wrong. Like I could not believe after like 2 weeks in, I was like, I don't know a single person in this house. And I thought I had a good bead on who these people were. And I'm like, man, production did a really good job bringing these people in. And they're showing you the power of what their own cameras can do,
Mhm.
because they showed us this. They knew we were going to see this. And
Mhm.
then they were like, nope, here you go. So it was like, I thought these certain people were going to be really good. And then now I'm getting in the season and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you saying that? I never thought you would say that. You have severely let me down, sir. So it's like, I'm getting disappointed 2 weeks in, and I was like, maybe that was part of the ride. Maybe we were supposed to be completely wrong about everybody. And I think that's why everything is in such disarray, and you don't know who to root for. We don't know what's going on. There's chaos every Thursday. What is happening? It's like no one knows what's going on. It's just a crazy ride. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, preseason, we were like Ashley, Keanu. Those are our two like stock picks. They're gonna be so good at this game. And then ever since then, we've been like, wow, maybe not. maybe
improving in the last week or so. But Keanu, yeah, I mean, like everyone preseason was like Keanu is going to be great. Like he was like a top like 3 winner pick from everyone. And
I picked him as a Josh type. I was like, you know what? I think he's going to be a cuddly teddy bear, and I think that he's going to protect the girls in the house. And I think that he might have a blow up somewhere, but it's going to be him, combating a bully or some shit. And I don't think that he's going to go in and say anything dumb or be this type of person or do that. He gets in the house, and what the hell does he do? None of that shit. Not one thing. And I was like, who is this guy? So I was so like pissed for a couple of days because I was like, how do I not? I thought I used to have a pretty good idea on who these people were, and I prided myself on kind of having an idea of who they were going to be. Completely wrong.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
No, I don't think it's a you thing. I think it's an everyone thing. I think I saw so much praise for Keanu in particular in the preseason, and like he was like I said, everyone is completely different. Like even Mickey coming into this week, he said had a lot of fans. Morgan coming into the season also up until like the last couple of weeks had a lot of fans. But now people are turning on Mickey and Morgan, and they're like, "What are Mickey and Morgan doing? They're throwing away their games. They have no idea what they're doing."
And that's what happens. And I know you guys are sports fans a little too. So that's what happens. It's not hard to become number one. It's hard to stay number one.
Yeah.
So people don't know the first time that you get some sort of power in the house, that does something to you. You think you have a hold on the game. You think you can kind of coast this week. People are coming to you with information. You don't have to do a whole lot. Just hope that your plan kind of works out. And naturally, you made a plan that you didn't have to do a lot of work with. That's how it works. So you're trying to like put all these feelers out and do all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, all right, I'm going to sit for a little bit. And then so it makes you get comfortable with your relationships in the house. So you start leaning on them. You start kind of relying on the fact that, so-and-so is going to come up and hang out on the couch later. I'll talk to them for the next hour. This will make the day go by fast. I'll get to the next day. We're one step closer to Thursday. Mm-hmm. And your brain kind of gets on coast mode. And that's when Big Brother creeps in. That's when that amount of time that you have in between events, in between veto and eviction, like there's so much time and space to lose yourself. And I think that, Mickey and Morgan, they got in there. They kind of felt good about themselves. Oh my God, we pulled the wool over Riley's eyes. Ha ha, dumbass. And now we can kind of play with some stuff. And then all it took was Adrian, ironically, to have such a pure heart and to go in and just tell the truth to somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And then he took that back, and now, Morgan's mad that Mickey told, and then Adrian's gone, so she can't talk to him. And now it's like, what do we do? So they created a drama on their own, on accident, like without even trying. And now it's like the bond that I thought was pretty solid in the house is now kind of shaky. And now a seasoned player would get in there, drive that wedge, and split it up a little bit, like Sari would. And I wish Rachel would see it for what it is and kind of start driving that if she can hang on, But that's what happens, is that time gets in your brain, it seeps in, and you're like, maybe I could try this. And you're like, no, that's against my plan. I shouldn't do that. And then you get wrapped up in another scenario that you felt pretty good in. And that was your problem. You felt good, and you weren't furthering your objective. So I think right now Rachel's in a spot to where she doesn't know what direction to go to further her game. She feels like everything's against her. She probably feels a little embarrassed. She thinks she's playing a bad game, but really, as we all know, live feeders are praising her for some of the things that she's doing. I think she's doing a great job holding some stuff together and fulfilling, I believe, her intended purpose. Her intended purpose, having been put on the show, was to bring a bit of that old school Big Brother play back into the fold. And I think she's done that. She's mentored some people. She's pushed some conversations. She's pulled some relationships in, and she's kind of made people believe some stuff. And we have that old school Big Brother kind of feel going on in the house. The problem is having that old school Big Brother being brought into the house now definitely conflicts with the new energy they're trying to bring around blockbuster stuff and live and all the and putting attention on competitions. That Rachel doesn't know that much. Like that's not her wheelhouse. So we plopped her in the middle of a brand new game, and I think that production played a dirty trick by being like, "Hey, you're going to go in and play Big Brother," and then they drop her in on the challenge 42. It's like, what is this? I don't know this game. This is a whole different game. And I think Rachel right now is feeling a little bit embarrassed that she can't play the type of game she wanted to play coming in the house. Even when she was dealt all the cards to be able to play the type of game she wanted to play, new Big Brother stepped in and new characters and new stuff came in. And now we're at a point where she's not able to play the game that she was supposed to be able to play. And I think that she doesn't really know what to do. She's in weird territory. She doesn't know what to do with that.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah,
I think his internet might have dropped. I don't know. But yeah, I think what you're saying is exactly right with Rachel, where in particular her gameplay historically has been a lot of deriving power from winning comps and like using the power she gets from like winning HOHs to kind of drive some of the things she wants to do. And she hasn't really ever had to play this kind of middle ground, like social style game where she's like kind of moving pieces in the background. And because now she's, a little bit older, she's 40 now, like, she's not winning these like, hard comps as easily as she was 15 years ago. I think that's part of what's getting into her head, because she expected to be just as good at the comps as she was in, BB12 and BB13. And she doesn't really see as much value in what she's doing socially. And I think that is kind of sad. And we saw, a couple days ago, her making comments indicating that she might want to, be put up and evicted because she feels like she doesn't have any agency in the game. If she feels like her allies, her supposed allies, are just kind of dragging her along as a number until they are able to dispose of her. She found out from Ashley that, in particular, Mickey and Morgan plan on basically dragging her to a jury and then evicting her as the first juror, and then just letting her rot for 5 weeks in the jury house so that she can then vote for one of them to win. And that's like a really disappointing thing to hear from people that you think you're supposed to be working with long term. And like, you're supposed to have your back. That like, oh, they're just trying to drag me into a position where I can like bolster their games, and like they're discarding me as soon as they don't
look
need
at Brittany in the brigade.
Yep.
As an example.
I mean, at least
Brittany
Brittany
that you're being strung along, and
Yeah.
Rachel doesn't want to be known as someone that got drugged. Rachel
Mhm.
wants to. She, quote, is a legend. I mean, she's starting to show, that she's a bit frazzled, and frazzled Rachel doesn't do as well as calculated Rachel. And I don't mean this in a weird way, but there was always the speculation of, can she play without Brendan? Can she play with his? And she's played other games without him. I mean, and done a really great job. I mean, she understands how to play the game. She understands production. She understands what's going to sell. She understands how to bring attention. She understands the whole industry, right? But the fact that Big Brother has now changed and is a little bit of a different landscape competitively, she doesn't necessarily have a firm number one person to hang on to that is also a competition threat. She doesn't have she had the ability to be the Rachel that we love from her seasons past because she had someone that had her back. She could go out and say some things to people, and Brendan be like, yeah, what she said. It was a different, you can navigate the game with a different sense of confidence when you feel like you have a support system. And she is now in an area where the first person that she latched onto to be her number one, because she knows how to play in pairs, the person that she latched onto was Amy. Just a sinking ship. Bless her heart. I love her to death. But Amy was biding time as soon as she got in the house. She was my pick for first boot. So I hated it, but we all know the landscape of the first couple weeks of the game. So for her to latch onto her, I thought was noble and fun, and she gets to create the mom squad or whatever, but that's not her normal gameplay style. I mean, had she gone in and made a legitimate, hard relationship with a different type of competitor, she might have been playing a different type of game. But as it sits right now, she doesn't have that firm backing of a confident second player because there aren't any left. All the ones that she should have aligned with in the beginning are now all aligned against her. And now it's starting to register to her. It's starting to click that she's not going to win this game. And I don't mean that mean, and I'm not trying to be cynical, but every vote that she needs to win that game on finale night is in that house. Not out here. Not people that voted in the past. Not Amy. Not Zay. Not Adrian. Those people aren't voting. Every vote that you need to win 750,000 is in that house. So if you alienate and ostracize all of them, you're not going to get any votes. Zay was not wrong when he said there will not be a two-time winner on this season. The people in that house will not allow it.
Yeah.
They will not allow someone to come in from 2 previous seasons and win that game. It's their decision, not ours.
Mhm.
And she doesn't get it. It's starting to click to her that they're not going to let her win. Even if someone smartly drags her to final 2, they just wrote their own check because no one is saying Rachel won that one. For the love of God, and I'm not trying to create any controversy here, but Ian did not win.
Dan lost,
I don't
but Dan
care
lost
what you
because
tell
he was
me.
the winner.
I
Yes.
know who was in that jury house, and I'll tell you, they were not going to let Dan win.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though he turned in the most insane single person performance I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that dude did not deserve to win? You're high. You are kiting out there, Ben Franklin.
No, we talked about this coming in. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, we talked about how, like, you know, for these players, they're like, they don't want to see a vet win. I mean, I really like Josh. I thought Paul should have won BB19.
Yeah, same.
Didn't
I love
happen.
Josh, one of my good friends, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I think Josh is a great winner and, you know, has represented the show awesome on the challenge and all that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I was surprised that Josh won that season. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah, you people think it wrong. They're like, oh my God, if they get to the end, then they just got to win a competition. No. No.
Yeah.
Like, I started thinking about it, and people are starting to think about it now a little earlier than I predicted. But jury management is incredibly important. And if Rachel hasn't been talking to people this entire time to be like, listen, take me to final 2, there's no way I'm going to win. That should have been her strategy this whole time. Dude, there's no way I'm winning. You don't want me to win, right?
Mhm.
You're not going to vote for me to win. So why don't you just go ahead and pick me as your, final 4? Like, that's it. Like, you don't want me to win. Therefore, even if you got in the jury house, you know damn sure you're not going to vote for me. So-and-so is your best friend. Y'all have already talked about the fact that y'all don't want me to win. So there, boom. Look, take me to final 2 and then work some deals and start doing jury management pretty early, because it's not as if she's going to win a shitload of competitions coming up. So she's got to reassess her game. And it's not just about the relationships that you build. It's what kind of car are you selling? If you're going to be the used car salesman and fight your way all the way down to the final 2, you'd better start slinging deals. And Labor Day is coming up, brother. You got to start doing some wholesale selling.
Well, I think that's the thing too with Rachel has played kind of passively so far, at least compared to what I expected. Yeah,
She's in weird water. This isn't her area. She doesn't know this.
That's true. That is true. But I mean, I think that
I'm just, as a friend and as a huge Big Brother fan of hers and of the show, and as somebody that really dives into it like you guys do, this is a completely different game.
Yeah.
She came in and now she has planted herself in an interesting scenario that even the strategy that I laid out that might help her might be hard to sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, especially with this cast, like you're not going to be able to I don't know. I don't even know if that would work. And I think that with that in mind, I think that she kind of has to realize that she's playing with house money a little bit and play a little bit harder, take some bigger risks, take some swings.
Yeah, she comes up to this problem. All right. And Corey and I talked about this kind of stuff all the time. I'm more of a football mentality rather than a full-on battle plan. So, I get that we're going to need to attack the weak corner. I get that we're coming up on 3rd and 7 and our bread and butter is 36 kick. But right now they're locking down the 3-hole. Right. So I better not do that. So all I got to do is make a first down. I don't got to make a touchdown every play. Right. And I'm not playing this long game. I got to make sure that we execute this play right now. If we don't get a first down right now, we're going to be punting the ball and we're going to be bad. We're going to be bad position. So I have to make sure that this play goes off. 3rd and 7, we're going to hit our bread and butter across the middle. Let's go. Right. So if you're going to have a long game, if you're going to have a long drawn out plan, you got to start with executing the first play. I can have a complete understanding of their defensive, forefront. I know exactly what they're going to do going into the 3rd quarter. They've been playing us in man coverage. I know that we're, shit like that. But if Rachel took the scenario that she'd been dealt this week with the Ava situation, if Rachel takes that situation and goes, you know what? If everyone's thinking that they're just going to drag me to jury, well, that means I got a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I got a
she
few
has
weeks.
5 weeks of runway.
That means I
Yeah.
got plenty of time to sit back and become people's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Become the person that they want in jury for them. She needs to start selling votes, not buying them. To go out there and go, you want me in jury. You want me in jury. You've played one hell of a game. You would have my vote. And they would be like, oh my God, Rachel said I'm great. And they would bite. And that's how it would go. So then she's bought herself time all the way down to jury. Now when she gets into jury, now she can start saying, hey guys, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win this.
Mhm.
I'm not going to win because you don't even want me to win. You brought me to jury to keep a shield. If I sit in one of those two chairs on finale night, even you're not going to vote for me. And then they're going to go, yeah, you're right. And then they think they're playing one on Rachel, and really it's reverse. So she could make it, and she could win one of those final competitions. All she has to do, make it to jury, make the play that there's no way she's winning on finale night, win a competition down late, she wins.
Yeah.
So you just got to
100%.
execute the first play. Take the Ava situation. Let's make a first down. That's it.
Mhm. No, I agree.
Rachel's like a pocket passing quarterback without a running back. No running game.
Yeah, no, she's like an Emmitt Smith in today's football.
Yeah.
Running backs are great, but they're utilized to set up the long pass play or to set up the tight end dump over the middle. Like it's a different game. There's not going to be another Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. We're not going to have another Emmitt Smith. Like offensive, just they don't operate that way anymore. And we have a very battlefront kind of football, and that's what Big Brother has changed into. And the equivalency would be to drop Emmitt Smith in this brand new game and go, here you go, buddy, go be the leading rusher, and set all the records and make Hall of Fame and win 3 Super Bowls. Go. And she's like, this isn't the game that I played. I don't have this. What is this?
Yeah.
It's a whole other game, and she's right now having to figure out. You go in, you got to go in at halftime and draw up a different plan.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, they played
There
in
we
this
go.
kind of newer era. Amazing running backs, Hall of Famers. No Super Bowls for either of them.
Bruisers, they're going to get you a few touchdowns, and you're going to want them inside the red zone. But
Mhm.
if I'm a good offensive coach, I'm not going to be in the red zone.
Right. This is very fascinating to hear your perspective on this, and I don't know how like Sheree was perceived when she was in the house, but did you guys have this kind of like, we don't want Sheree to win in the same way that you'd have with a returning Big Brother player? Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta talk
early
like
on in the
about that,
season.
yeah.
I mean, that's how I knew that Rachel was going to be utilized as a tool, and no one's really done it right yet, other than the people that are saying, "Hey, she's the target. I hate her. Keep me because I'm going to fight her." Normal strategy. But early on in the season, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I said it out loud, but it wasn't in a me going after Sheree kind of tone, even though inevitably I was the one that basically was like the anti-Sheree person. I think I did better than Zay, at least, trying to go after the legend. But no,
you did all right.
We knew early on. Like I was talking to somebody and I was like, dude, she's already had her day in the sun. This is our show.
Yeah.
Like, she's had her shit, dude. This is ours. And like I work with her all we want, but like she's not winning my season. Now, I'm not. I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about her. This is our thing, So like, and I think that Zay kind of had that chip, and a few people did. Riley, I remember him saying something about it. Keanu, I think too, also is kind of floating that around. But yeah, I think she's kind of seeing that writing on the wall and going like, I don't got a shot at this. Well, neither did Dan. So you can do it. She's a better player at this shit than any of us. I promise you.
I would say she's a better player now than she was in the season she won. Like,
she's the same person. Like, she's got it up here to make those moves, but she hasn't figured out a way to bridge the gap from old play to new play and go, how can I utilize my profile to my advantage?
Yeah, I think you can also see with especially the first few weeks, her continuing to try to go back to the Keanu well over and over again, I think is her trying to pick up somebody that can be a Brendan, can win comps for her, can be like, a big dude out in front working with her. But because Keanu continues to burn her over and over and over again, she's like now kind of given up on that, which I think is reasonable. But like now she has yet to really fully pivot. Like she's made connections. She has obviously a connection with Jimmy that I think if Jimmy is able to get out of the bind he's currently in, like Jimmy might be the person for her that can win the comps down the stretch with her. But like the other people she's aligned with are like the Avas, the Ashleys, the Wills. Like these people are not going to be winning comps, unfortunately. So
they turned themselves into, what was it? Big Brother. The one where they started the season off in cliques. Like
Big Brother 11,
like the offbeats.
The offbeats, yes, yeah.
The athletes.
Yeah.
Nerds or something, like all that stuff. Yeah, they did it to themselves. What is there, 13 people left in the house right now?
14. Yeah.
13, 14? Yeah, like they did it to themselves. They turned themselves into the high school lunchroom. So she's fitting in with the wrong people. Granted, they're the right people to hang out with. Don't get me wrong. I think I'd hang out with all the people all the ones you listed. They're solid to hang out with. But in the game, they're not in a very powerful position, and she's not used to playing from her back. From in UFC terms, she's not used to grappling. She's used to coming off the top rope at the right time and just fucking laying bows down. Sorry if I'm cussing, but
you can
it's a different world.
No, 100%. I think that I really think that her ticket is probably Jimmy. I think Jimmy is the only real shot she has, which is why this week
you're right. He is the most probable to hang with her.
Yeah.
And I think that we can get into this too. I like Jimmy. And I think other people are going to begin liking Jimmy when he survives this week. Because I see it through a different lens, and all my friends do too. We see what the Jimmy character that we saw coming in that first week, and everybody goes, ugh, he's so loud, he's obnoxious, he's using, like catchphrases from
the kind of performance
Drag Race. He's trying to create this larger than life person for television exposure, and everyone does that in their own way. He's just confident enough to go, here I am, I love you. So what he didn't realize was that once you've used up all 5 of your recycled catchphrases, you run out of material. I can't be a character 24/7. You just can't. And he realized after having a couple of those blow-ups with people that were manufactured where he practiced the fight, he realized pretty quickly that after that fight ended, oh shit, I'm still locked in the house with this person. Now I got to navigate this relationship somehow. And if I make an enemy out of every single person in this house, or even half of them, that's probably not going to work very well for me. And I think that he realized after that first week, and specifically after his own HOH, that if he's going to have enough TV exposure and fun recycled drag racing lines, I think that he realized he better calm down if he's going to stick around for a little while. And now he is a little nervous. You can see that he's not quite his fun, attention-seeking self on the feeds lately. He's kind of reserved. He's kind of falling back. He's kind of listening, and he's playing with people. But now that his ass is on the block, he's singing a different tune. You're starting to see the tears. You're starting to see the real Jimmy come out. So after this, I think that this is going to be a come to Jesus meeting for Jimmy, and he's going to go, I need to reassess how I kind of play this thing and what I need to do to go a little further in the house, because be the 4th one out. That's not gonna bode well for his career aspirations, which I'm sure he's dreaming of right now.
Well, I think what you pointed out there as well also comes back to how things that were done in the past that were received as okay strategy don't work as well when you have the blockbuster. In particular, him kind of manufacturing this beef with Keanu in like the past, like creating a beef with the player that's kind of an outcast who is likely to go home is actually not terrible short-term play, because everyone's like, oh, Jimmy's going after Keanu. That means he's not coming after me. That means I don't have to worry about him for now. But that only works if like Keanu eventually goes home. But Keanu's not gone home, and he's continued to not go home. And now Keanu, weeks later, has been able to use information about Jimmy and this beef to get Jimmy targeted. And in a situation where you are giving players so many opportunities to save themselves, it's really, really dangerous to make a very public enemy like that, because if you don't get them out of the house ASAP, now you've created a problem that you're incapable of fixing.
So you're right. You're exactly right. Because have you noticed the conversations and the one-on-ones and the overall morale of the discussions that Kelly has with other house guests has completely changed from
It's improved. Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, I can't just be an asshole to Kelly because clearly she might be here Friday. Mm-hmm. Like I can't, everyone realized that they can't just gang up on people and we all hate that one, so that one's got to go next. That's not a thing anymore. We all hate that one. That one wins the blockbuster. Now they're back in the mix. And they're like, shit, who do we hate now? It was so simple when you could hate half of the nominees. Well, now what? Now that person has come down off the block. It's Thursday night. Both of the people that are on the block now, I like them. Now what do I do? So you can't move this same strategy and with this same old schoolyard tricks trying to paint this person as a target and get them gone. Because look at Ashley. I mean, Catherine might not have been purposely trying to do what she did on the very first week, but the whole showergate incident, that would have worked. That would have 100% worked back in the day. We'd have been continuing to paint that target. Oh, shower's back in the house. What's up, girl? You know, so like there's all kind of shit that could have happened. Now she's back. Now we can't hate her. Well, we spent all of our energy hating this one person. We didn't even think of who we were going to vote out next. Now what? So then it failed as they and all the other, madness that happened. But yeah, so the same old strategies and the same plays don't work. So Jimmy is now is realizing that he's kind of got to play this game a little bit differently. And I hope that the bond between him, Rachel, Ava, and Will gets stronger. I want to see the four of them work together. And the four of them work together, you're going to see a very concise team effort. A real plan might actually come together if the four of those start working. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's going to happen down the road. I really hope that Jimmy comes off that he wins the blockbuster, because he's going to be great TV down the road. We haven't seen what we really need to see out of Jimmy. And I think that he's starting to come around and figure out, I got to kind of play this game. So we're going to see some cool stuff from him. I want him to stick around. And he's one of my fantasy picks too, so I just want to win points.
Fair enough.
And I think that's gonna get Kelly gone. And then now everyone's gonna reassess. So I feel confident that Kelly leaves. I want Riley to stay, not because I like him. I think the dude's kind of fucking weird. And there's no cowboy code here.
Right, yeah, that's the
you're wearing the baseball hat, not the cowboy hat, so
I've hung out with many a damn bull rider because I did it. All right, and
right.
They're all crazy. Trust me. All right,
everyone else
got a damn screw loose, and you're gonna start to see this dude start cracking. And I need him to stay strong because Catherine is also one of my picks, and I like her. So I need him to stay in so that she gets sympathy for how weird he acts towards her, and I need him to be a bigger target than her so she sticks around. So I don't really care about Riley. I just need him to stay for at least another week or two.
Well, also too, I think if Jimmy doesn't win the blockbuster, but Riley does, and Riley and Kat could theoretically be swing votes here to save Jimmy, especially if that's
going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
We don't have enough data on the blockbuster to predict what kind of competition's coming up. I mean, we've seen a
Right.
good bit of them. I don't know, like what, 10 by now?
Sure. Yeah.
10, 15?
Yeah. They've
Blockbusters,
got a lot
right?
of puzzles and like mental things mostly. I
Yeah,
feel.
they're kind of they're nerve wracking, they're pressure packed, they're timed. It's about observations. It's about a little bit of guesswork mixed with just hitting it right on the money, you know.
Mhm.
So you can't convince me that Kelly didn't go in there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, fuck it, 6 or 7, and just like threw that 7 down there. I was like, that feels
Locked
good
in
enough for me, because I would have
immediately.
done the exact same
Yeah.
thing. I'd have been
Yeah,
like,
that's what I would have done. Yeah,
how much
just
time's
do
on
a
the
good
clock?
estimate.
So
Fast
yeah, and
estimate.
after all the other, when the other 2 clicked in, Will should have just took his time. I'd have been like 1, 2, because he had like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
He had
Yeah.
like a minute left before he made his answer. He could have gotten 8. So,
Then he got
but yeah,
16 somehow.
if Riley wins and it's Kelly Jimmy, that'll be crazy. But I just don't think that it's going to be a competition that fits Riley well. I
Yeah.
think that I want to see him on the wall. I want to see Riley.
Yeah.
I think Riley would win the wall comp.
Well, there
I
is a
say
lot of
that-
speculation
And I
because
say
there's
that
no have-nots.
because guys like Riley, who I know pretty well, we like pain. We can just do it.
Mm.
It doesn't hurt when you're in the moment. You don't
Yeah.
think about it. You're just like, oh, this is gonna suck tomorrow, but I'm having a pretty good day right now. Let's go.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think that him being on the wall, it doesn't matter how strong you are. It matters how much pain you can handle. I mean, some people get up there and start shaking aggressively, of course, because it is kind of cold sometimes. But aside from that, if you can work through that cold, work through the shakes and the pain, and keep yourself focused, I don't think anybody's beating Riley on a wall comp if he doesn't do anything dumb. So I think he's got it in him to win it. Now there's 13. There's going to be, how many people are going to be playing for HOH this week? 12?
There'd be 12, yeah, because there'll be
12?
13 left, so 12 will play.
Yeah. So 12. Where is it? 13. There's 17 with 3 down, 4 to go. So 14, 13.
Yeah, so
there's going to be like 12, 13
13
slots. Yeah,
so then
12.
will play, yeah.
So 12. And I don't know that the wall's coming up next, but
Well,
big possibility.
yeah, I mean, people have speculated because they aren't doing have-nots this week, and often they cancel have-nots the week before they do an endurance comp, that there could be an endurance comp coming up. Obviously, like in the house, they've constantly been talking about the wall. Morgan's been like, put me on the wall. I'm not coming down. So
Everybody says that. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone says that. Yes, it's a lot easier to say it than it is to do it.
Shit. I wish I would have had the wall. That was the one competition I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
I was
you were
outgoing
outgoing
HOH.
HOH. Yeah.
Yeah, so I could play.
I mean,
Not too.
you did the pressure cooker. That's like perhaps more impressive of a win than just the wall.
It's
That
pretty
lasted
monumental
like
just by
12 hours.
just by the sense that there's only been 2 of them. That's the coolest thing to me.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a competition that's every year.
Yeah.
You forget who won certain competitions, but when you bring up pressure cooker, there's only like 2 or 3 names that come to mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ironically, Casers comes to mind, and he got second.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, for him.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it is also unfortunate that like with the question obviously for you, it's kind of silly with that was the week they chose to do the path to power and basically negate the entire premise of the pressure cooker.
I evicted the winner of Big Brother.
That's
I
true.
want that on record for the rest of that's gonna be my tombstone.
Yep.
Cameron knew.
Yep. I mean, yeah, that is true, and I mean, like it is even at the time when because we were obviously podcasting about your season, we were like, why did they introduce a power that cancels the eviction on the week where they did like this iconic 12-hour competition? That seems like a really pointless thing to do.
What a missed opportunity, man! What a different game it would have been. What a different game. Everything that happened on my season, I was like, God, well, if only
Yeah.
this thing would have changed that thing, and this other 1,000 things. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were like when you saw how many comps Jag won at the end, you were just like, well, I tried, guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and actually, in all
succeeded.
honesty, we had a pretty good bead on who was going to be good at what in the competitions coming up, and I knew the type of competitions that were coming up. So did Corey. I mean, we all talked to Jag and Matt and everybody. We knew what was coming up and how it was going to be very athletic, very competitive, and very strategic. And talking with Matt and Jag and everybody, we kind of knew the order in which people needed to leave. I mean, clearly Matt and Jag didn't need me to execute their plan. They got a little hairy there towards the end with, just the two of them, and it kind of came to blows, and then they figured it out. But between the two of them, they knew exactly how it needed to work. Well, I say Jag knew, and Matt was like, "Yep, that sounds good."
Well, I think they also got very lucky that they had Bowie, who was both very loyal and surprisingly good at a lot of the endgame mental comps. Yeah.
Bowie, loyal.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously loyal, not loyal to you, but loyal to, loyal to them.
That's, which you're exactly right. So, I mean, they made the perfect moves. Jag was the winner. Anyone that saw it different, that has now gone back and watched the show, knows for sure that he won that thing for real. I mean, I did everything that I could in the jury house to let people know that he was the man, and even in our jury roundtables and all the stuff. And I was just like laid out. I was like, dude, you don't see, like, y'all came one at a time. This was the plan. You, then you, then you, then you. And I tried to tell you when I was in the house, dude. I told you, here's what's gonna happen. These two are gonna run this whole thing, and y'all are all just here, slaughtered lambs. And they were like, "Nah, I'm good with Jag." And I was like, "Told you." Like, well, that's why you had you thinking that. Like, what do you want to do?
It's funny because it's very similar to what we're seeing right now as well, where Rachel has been this week beating the drum of like, hey, Vince and Zach are running the game. If you don't take out Vince right now, like, you're just handing the game to Vince. You're handing the game to Vince and Zach. They're just gonna, walk their way to the end, and that may happen. Like, because the shot was not taken at Vince, and
I see Vince going on a double.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have a double this year?
We have to, with 17 people and how short the season is. I think we have to have at least one. Yeah.
And I saw Kelly and them doing incorrect math with lemons.
Yeah, they're math.
So I was like, they don't know what the hell's going on.
They think that America's favorite player voting is starting already. Like, they have no idea what the math is on the season.
Fun. That's great. Me and Corey had it plotted out. Me and Corey, we sat in that hammock and we're like, all right, how many days left? All right, that's how many weeks? We got how many players? All right, that means we're gonna have two doubles. We're gonna have two doubles. We're gonna have a double going before jury and one after jury. And how many weeks do we have left? That means we're gonna be 7. There's a double next week. And like, we did the math and we like, next week is the one before jury.
Yep.
One person has to leave and stay out of the, they're gone for good. That's going to be they're going to be the second vote of the double. Next week's a double. So we went into the competition on my week when I got evicted and came back. And me and Corey knew that it was probably going to be a double. So then the transmission came down of like this coded message, and none of us knew what it was. But all I knew was that I'm coming back in the house. I don't know what that thing says. But when I leave on Thursday, which I'm 100% going to do, when I leave, I'm coming right back in this place, and I'm going to win myself back in. So once we got that message, I was in a good mood. I was like, I don't even care. I'm not going home. I'm going to be right back here. Thursday night, I'll be right back in the same thing, doing it again. So knowing that there's a double coming up at some point prior to jury, I don't think they're going to do one in jury, but there may be a double going into jury. I really don't know. They may hold on to that. They may need a mid-season kind of pick-me-up and throw the attention back on it. And I think that they're going to do that on a Wednesday episode. I think that they would do a double on a 90-minute episode because it would surprise the house guests, and they would have the ability to run all of those competitions in one day, because you forget that we're in the Blockbuster too, which doesn't seem like it's going away as the twist. So they're going to have to vote someone out, play HOH, do nominations, do a veto, do a Blockbuster, and then vote everybody out. That's like they're gonna have like 3 or 4 competitions all inside of 90 minutes. So if they're gonna do
putting
this,
the dividers in the backyard real small.
right. I mean, basically, yeah. There was going to be that, or they're going to recycle competitions, and you're going to go back for round 2 or some shit. You never know. But it's easy to break it up. But you got to have less people. There's way too many people in the house for a double right now. There's no way to play. all that kind of stuff. So I see it getting down to 10. It'll be post wall. Whenever we see a wall, give a week or two, double.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say. That's how you know that they weren't fans.
I think it's apparent. I think it's apparent at this point that there's not many fans in that.
Yeah, like all
Kelly,
of the specific,
what? Yeah,
the specific clips that Keanu brought up to Rachel. I was like, dude,
that's awesome.
you trying to get shot right now? What are you doing? Why would you bring up the worst moments of Rachel's life? Like, why would you do that? So,
so
so then I watched them do lemon math in the backyard, and I was like, they have no clue.
No, they don't.
I was like proud of me and Corey for a minute because I was like, man, we were down to the damn science on that thing. We knew what was coming. If only the slip and slide would have shown up, we'd have been happy.
Right.
No, I think I said last week that Rachel is unironically the biggest fan in the house.
Probably. Yeah. I thought Lauren was going to be a much bigger fan than she was. I think she let on a little in the audition process than she actually was. So, yeah.
Well,
that's why
you brought up last week.
Just for that, dude. Like he was living his dream, man. He didn't cut short.
Yeah, Ben brought up last week that Keanu tricked us because he watched these compilations. He was throwing out these like
the
old school moments, and it's like, oh, this guy, he knows his stuff. He
read the clip notes before sequester.
Exactly.
Damn guy. Like,
he's like,
you mean like we're on TV like all the time? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, he's like talking about, like Kaser telling Maggie, like, I sealed your partner's fate. And I'm like, wow, that's like a deep cut. He's seen Big Brother 6. Like, wow, okay. But no, he's just seen a clip compilation he just saw that in a clip compilation. Was like, that's a baller line, and I'm gonna remember that.
It's so funny.
That was a good line.
I love how confident that he is when he comes into the room with Riley and he goes,
it's Ashley.
Yeah. We both know. What are you talking about? Stop thinking. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't even need the 3 minutes. We both know it's Ashley.
The confidence in that absolutely wrong answer is astonishing.
Yeah, that's the story of his game so far, though. Is like he's just confidently wrong about everything, and he never really uses that as a way to self-reflect and be like, hey, I was wrong about that. Maybe I shouldn't be as confident the next time I think something. It's like, nope. He goes into the next thing just as blindly confident as he was the day before.
Does he have siblings? Do we know this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
he does kind of give. Like.
He has like oldest brother energy.
Yeah.
Like looks after his mom, but doesn't let anyone. Like he speaks for her. And, like he's just like
only child energy almost.
Like what he says goes. I think he's not used to this type of attention where like people aren't just naturally listening to him or believing him or shutting up around him. He's not used to that.
I mean, he definitely ironically as the DM, he has all the stats in his physical prowess and just no stats in his charisma or his insights or anything like that. He just, it's fun, but he's not sure what's happening.
Yeah, it would be like getting Usain Bolt and making him a left tackle. He would be like, I'm the fastest man alive. And you're like, I don't care. Go block that guy. You're out of your realm. You might think that you're amazing, but not at this.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, he's very good TV, and he's created a lot of very fun moments on the show and on the feed. So he's horrifically bad at his brother.
I mean, this is just a job interview for challenge. He's going to be challenge gold.
Yeah, he's going to be really good on the challenge.
I mean, he's just going to light fires. He's going to be like Josh. Eventually, we're going to see some crazy blow up come out of him, and I'm here for it. It's going to be fun.
Well, this week apparently off feeds he blew up at Ava, right? And
Veto Comp, yeah.
I didn't see that. I just heard about it. Apparently, he said some rough stuff to her after the competition.
Yeah, I think he said you got something for me, after he won, he's basically he did a give me that key bitch, but to Ava with the veto.
Yeah, you got to be a little delicate around people that aren't in the sports world. You can't just go like, give me mine, baby. What's up?
Yeah.
You can't have that energy because they're like, oh my god, here you go. It's a different world.
Yeah, no, it didn't sound as bad as they were making it seem. But I mean, we'll obviously see on Wednesday and see if it is as bad. But he definitely was like, I kind of like, I lost control for a second. I went over the top.
Yeah,
So.
you like once you realize you're like, oh man, they're not about this life. They don't know.
Yeah.
That would be like, Ray Lewis showing out at a church league softball game. Like he shows up and hits one to the moon, and he's just like, yeah. And everybody else.
Ray Lewis, he would definitely bat flip.
Everybody else is like, calm
Like,
down. My daughter's
yeah.
playing first base, dude. What are you doing?
Mhm.
It's like different.
Yeah, we're doing this for fun, Like you're getting a little intense there,
Yeah, you gotta take it down a notch there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that clip of Peyton Manning with all those kids.
Yeah.
Right.
The ball at their head.
You suck. Stay in that porta potty. What are you doing?
And I mean, I'm sure emotions are super high because, like, going into the veto, he's like, if I don't win this, like, I might go
100%.
home, and
Yeah.
like, it's tough.
It's hard balance. Trust me, it's a hard balance to be a competitor and to be put in a position where you gotta make this first down. I got to. There's no other way around this. I gotta make this happen right now. And for it to happen, because you made it happen, that overwhelming sense of pride and adrenaline rush that you get from post competition. I mean, in a competitor, that's a thing that you thrive on. I mean, playing football and all this, sports and everything I've played my life, and the Army is the same way. I mean, you go through this intense battle, and you get out on the other side of it, you're just like hot. You're just like you're hyped up and ready to just fight anything that comes at you. You're just like so stoked. And to have a balance between having that sense of pride and adrenaline rush and being able to compartmentalize it and gracefully move to the people that you just beat, because in a competition you beat someone's ass, you get back on the bus, let's go home.
Yeah,
But
right.
here I gotta live with these people. Actually, that person that I just beat their ass, I'm gonna need their support next week, so I should probably go about this in a delicate manner. And having the ability to clear the mechanism and kind of go at it batter by batter is something that if I have an opportunity to talk to aspiring Big Brother people, you just got to tell them that, like, when you get success in the game, it's very important how you handle failures. Everyone knows that. You got to have the ability to get up. The hardest part that people don't practice is, once you've been given a level of success, how do you treat it? Do you stay humble? Do you stay hungry? Do you stay level-headed? Are you acting emotionally? Are you still riding the high of the adrenaline from having won that? And you have to treat success the same way that you treat your failures publicly. And if you have that ability to keep your mind in control after all of that, you'd be a massive success. And maybe not take it from me, because I did get voted out and people hated me, but
America's favorite player, though.
Yeah,
So,
man.
like,
I
I do
managed
think
to
yeah.
keep the house intact while I was on the block. I never lost my shit. I never started throwing stuff at people. I never started blowing up games and doing crazy stuff. I kept my head and realized that we're all just playing this game here. We got to calm down. We got to relax, and we just got to play together. If you guys hate me, cool. Vote me out. Like, I get it. I'm going to keep playing as hard as I can too. But having that sense of being able to navigate failure versus success in the same headspace is what can make or break them. And Keanu has been coming from the beginning. I'm sure that he intended on playing a very different game, but once he was hit in the mouth first week, there's no place else to go but to, now you got to play this game. Now you got to play this game. You thought you were going to play this game. Now you got to play here. And what do?
Yeah, no, I think also what you're describing too is what we see a lot with like HOH-itis. I think that's something that, like, you had 3 HOHs. I don't really think that you really exhibited like HOH-itis, which I think is, a positive. And something that we're seeing right now with Mickey in particular is a lot of her issues are just her not being humble in that power and really taking a lot of her relationships and alliances for
Right.
granted,
Right.
and feeling like a little bit too big for her britches.
She hasn't.
And
She's not playing from behind. She
yes,
didn't have to come out first week slinging punches. If Keanu would have won, or Riley, or some of these other people that have been behind the curve for a little bit, they would have made much different decisions.
Mhm.
We would have had a much different crazy game going on right now, because somebody that's been hit in the mouth in the first round and gotten back up each round is gonna freaking attack you come round 4. So Keanu would have come out the box swinging.
Mhm.
Mickey comes in and she goes, I don't want to ruffle too many feathers. Let's put so and so on the block. Let's do this thing. Because it kind of goes back to what I just said. Like the people that are on the block during that week set the tone of the house. They set the emotional roller coaster. If you're cool about it and you ride that wave pretty well and you play your role as the pawn, you're going to be the pawn next week too.
Mhm.
Will played too good of a pawn that first time that he did it, so they felt comfortable putting him up there. Kelly did the same thing, but on a different end of the spectrum. She looks at it and goes, "Yeah, put me up. Shit, I'll win myself off." Like, so she comes from the same
Right.
to the same conclusion from a different angle. So, yeah, it's a different thought process going into it that people aren't looking into.
Yeah, I've always said that when you win power in Big Brother, like your first inclination feels like you should take your foot off the gas because now you're safe and now you have some control. When in reality, I think it should be the opposite. Like you should win power and you should put your foot on the gas even harder.
Gas. Let's
Yes.
play. Let's put some big players up there and you make it to jury. You got to make some strategic, plans and strategic moves.
Mhm.
But in this first part of this game, if you want to make a name for yourself and you want to get out there and show them that your gun's blazing, whip them out. Let's go, dude. So like the difference in a Mickey going in, she hasn't had to play behind the curve. She's going to make careful decisions and she's going to play boring Big Brother, as we would say. Keanu going in there, he knows that whenever he comes out of the HOH room at the end of the week, he's public enemy number 1. Nothing to lose. Like, y'all gonna hate me anyways. Let's get out some people that really and show, cast some hate in this direction. Like I knew that I was gonna be on the block after my second HOH. I was like, I'm gonna be on the block next week.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Let's go after the people that I think are the biggest targets in the house. Let's see where the house shakes up. And that's when I went with Izzy and Felicia, just because I had a target. Let's take out what, in my opinion, the nucleus. Who's in the middle of every damn thing in this house? Let's drop a bomb right there. And Keanu would have done something like that, but Mickey wouldn't. Mickey went in because she's like, I gotta play next week. I gotta make a relationship or two or not piss this one off, and you get boring Big Brother. So it's just how it works.
Yeah, she used her power defensively, but without an offensive plan, and I think that she kind of fell into a position where she didn't really know what to do with it after. Like she was like, oh, I'm going to get put up on the block by Riley. I have to use my power. But she didn't have a plan for what to do next. Like she had no...
To your point, it's almost a disadvantage right now to be the HOH. No one's utilizing that. No one's utilizing their HOH correctly. It's a bad place to be because next week, 3 people are going back up on that block.
Yep.
And the numbers are getting shorter and shorter, guys. We're running out of people that just want to be on the block.
Mm-hmm. So
you leave HOH, you're going to probably be one of those 3 people because we have all of these small alliances. There's a couple of big, alliances kind of put together, but really everyone has their trust in 1 or 2 people tops. So that being said, we're shrinking in numbers and people are going to start finding themselves on the block that they don't want to be on the block. You're going to try to keep your friends safe and somebody's going to win that veto and you're going to have to put your friend on the block.
Yeah.
Just because you know that they'll possibly win the blockbuster, and that's going to rub them the wrong way, or it's going to cast light in a different way. It's like
I do think Mickey kind of drew first blood here by putting Jimmy on the block.
Yes.
As a former HOH, now it's like, all right, all bets are off. Like before this, it was a little bit like, well, Lauren's not going to put Jimmy and Vince up, and Mickey didn't put any of the 3 of them up to start. But now that it's happened once, it's like, all right, free, open season. There's no
if Mickey really wanted to go in there and get minimal blood on her hands, but also shake some shit up, I would have put the previous 3 HOHs on the block.
I would have been interested.
It would have been Vince, Jimmy, and Lauren. Because I'm like, I mean, no problem here. Every one of y'all have nominated like all together like 12 people.
Right.
Y'all fight it out.
There.
Yeah,
That's why we desperately need a Keanu HOH one of these weeks, because he's not going to be afraid to mix it up.
Yeah, I want a Catherine HOH. I'm not like a Catherine stan or anything, but I like the position she's in the house.
Well,
I
I
like
think
Zach's
Catherine's one for
position, too.
Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Zach's position. Ava's looking good, but she's just bubble wrap. We all know she's going to go down to jury. The only way that she's going to make it past, I see her in 5th place. I don't know that she makes it to that Final Four playoff specifically. If she makes it to the Final 3, she's definitely 2nd place. Game over. But I don't know that people are going to love her enough to take her that far. But yeah, and Ava HOH would be funky too.
Yeah, I don't think Ava has it in her to make that final push.
She doesn't know what to
First
push
week,
right now.
I don't think she has it in her.
She's a free spirit. You know, she's a pure soul. She's a kind person. She kind of floats on a breeze in her whole life. That's kind of her philosophy. And right now she's riding the breeze, and she doesn't got a plan. She doesn't know where she's going. She's just hoping that somebody else does. She's just going to take the bus, you know? So she's going to get taken places, and I don't think she cares. She's like, okay, cool. Looks like I'm going to go deep, but I'm going to lose some friends along the way. It's going to be hard for her.
Yeah, we talked about Ava's, like, what would have to happen for Ava to win, and the thing I said was, like, she is the type of person that would benefit. Like, this is why her having a Final 2 with Rachel is good, because she's the type of person that would be in the Ian spot of sitting with Rachel in the Final 2. But that is predicated on one of them winning comps down the stretch, which I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. But we'll see.
Yeah. There's a lot more weight to competitive prowess now.
It really depends who else is there. Because if the Final 5 is like Ashley, Will, Rachel, Ava, and like a Lauren or something like that, like, yeah, then maybe like anybody could win a comp at that point. Like it's probably way more up in the air. But if you have like a Vince or a Zach in that end game,
I think that you're not far off. I think that there is a possibility.
Mhm.
There is a world in which they recreate 25 and they start taking out threats. The thing is you don't know what the threat is. No one would have come in that house and be like, Kelly's got to go.
Yep.
Oh, God, no.
No one would have guessed that one. But now that she's here, now that we kind of figure out what kind of blockbuster stuff is coming, that's a person that we need to get the hell out of here. She's dangerous and she doesn't know what she's doing.
Mhm.
She's out there in the street playing with dynamite. Like, get her out of here, dude. What are you doing?
Mhm.
So
yeah, Kelly and Keanu both are like the most dangerous types of players because they win a bunch of comps and they're like completely chaotic and like you can't control them.
yeah, the blockbuster might get a little hairy, but you can kind of guess what's going on with the veto. We have enough data banked to understand what kind of stuff is coming up and what kind of things you need to be prepared for. And if you're a fan, there are a few in the house. If you're a fan, you kind of understand the landscape of the competitions that are coming up for veto are going to be strength based, maybe like timed stuff, quick stuff. We haven't even done, white elephant. We haven't done anything that involves them crawling through massive amounts of sludge and slime and all this kind of shit. We haven't had, slip and slides. We haven't had crazy stuff. So the type of people that you think are going to win those competitions, I mean, you know who they are. I mean, Zach is coming up on some stuff where he's going to get really good. Riley's coming up on some competitions, and Keanu has already shown himself as a competitor. And you got these big things coming up. So guessing who's going to win Blockbuster is hard to do unless I control the experiment. But I can at least have a little bit of guessing power in what's coming up on veto. And just like you're talking about, Ben, if they figure out that they can control the type of people that play veto, we can get some of the big veto winning threats out, because veto is a very athletic competition. I mean, it's like a who wants it more kind of deal. I mean, HOH, it's all kind of stuff to win HOH, but those powers of veto are very, very competitive. So if you can guess those type of people and you can start working those people off one by one and getting them the hell out of here, you could end up in a scenario where Will, Ava, Rachel, all of the mid players are kind of down there together, because I mean that's exactly what happened. But the problem is you're going to have one or two people like Jag and Matt that are just going to run it, and I hope that they know that, so they're going to utilize those people to their control rather than get them out. How do I play with them? How do I keep them here and work for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do with Jimmy, but it's like it's going to be tricky. Like Jimmy, I think, is going to need to win Blockbuster and then HOH here for them to
Jimmy
really
wins Blockbuster, you're going to see a shitload of sass come out of that guy.
Oh, I
He's
mean,
gonna be on
if Jimmy wins
cloud nine.
Blockbuster, next week is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, he's gonna come out guns blazing. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just hope that he, like I talked about, I hope that he handles the success as well as he's handled his failure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think like right now, he's smart. He knows he needs to just be chill, work on the votes. But yeah, if he gets safety, it should be fun.
Yeah. And he's gotten some pep talks from Rachel in the last couple of days. So I think this has been a kick in his ass, and hopefully it'll be a positive kick in his ass if he does.
An eye opener.
Yes,
for sure. Well, good. What else do I got?
Anything else you want to talk about? I think we covered so much. I mean, we've gone through like so much like kind of high level talk about just Big Brother in general in the season. So I don't know if there's anything specific in the season you wanted to get into that we haven't.
People normally have behind the scenes questions. Like, what was this like? What was that? And I go, hey,
well, yeah, I do. And talk about like this week with Riley getting overthrown. We were talking about earlier how you won an HOH, the pressure cooker, the hardest competition in like the history of Big Brother, and then Jag stays in the game anyways. What does that kind of do to you, like as a player, as a competitor, to be like, did I just waste all this effort? Did I burn like social capital that I can't get back now?
I saw it in a couple of different ways. One, shit. Like, come on, man. Like, I worked my ass off to make sure that happened, and now it just doesn't happen. That sucks. All right, regroup. Here we go again. I mean, all I did, I walked the batter. Now I got a new batter. All right, now I got to refocus in. That's the game. So the other part of me was like, I'm a huge fan, and I went, dude, I would be losing my mind at home if I was watching this right now. This would be awesome.
We weren't happy.
So, like, the fan in me was going like, this is crazy. So like I think you can see me after I watched it a time or two. You can see me after the thing was played and Jag came back in. I was like laughing. Like I was like, this is so cool. I can't believe this just happened. This is so cool. So like there's parts of it where you're playing your ass off, and then there's other parts of it where you're going like, dude, that was pretty cool. I think that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they made a move against me, I told Bowie, I was like, good job, dude. That was cool. That was actually really cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good mentality to have as well. Like, if like a twist doesn't go your way, or like something doesn't go your way in the game, a competition or whatever, that you like can't continue to dwell on it. You have to like be like, okay, it's in the past, move on.
Let it go.
What's in front of me? What can I control? Because I think like so many players, we see them like dwelling on, like even this week we saw so many players talk like rehashing week one stuff, and it's like there's no reason to rehash week one stuff. Like focus on the game that's in front of you right now. Like what can you change? What can you control?
People get themselves in a bind by not having short-term memory. If you continue to hold on to all of the things that happen all the time, there's no way to logically move through your game. If you hold on to grudges, and if you hold on to emotional things, and if you're out for revenge, or this person embarrassed you, you got to get them gone, you can't stand them, blah, 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 or you had a plan. This is my pet peeve. You have a plan, and then something happens during your reign of HOH, and you shift focus and go after something else. You had the plan. Logically, you knew exactly what was supposed to go down, but you allowed your emotions to take control and completely derail your own game. So you have to stay focused. And a lot of people lose that temporarily. I'm not saying that they lose focus throughout the rest of their game, but something happens and they don't have the ability to just put it down. I'm gonna come back to that later and go, I got to stay on track. This is my mission. Izzy leaves at all costs. Whatever I do for the rest of the week, that is all my attention goes to, is making sure this thing happens. And it could have been very easy for someone to have gotten upset at someone else and for them to come up to me and go, dude, so-and-so said this about you, Cam. And I could have been like, oh, well, then their ass is on the block because they shouldn't be talking about me like that. No, you can't. That's not playing the game. That's just slap fighting in the parking lot after a PTA meeting. Like, you can't. You got to get your shit together. You got to play like
a lot of the time that's being manipulated as well. Like somebody is like trying to knock you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit, you know. So, like, if I'd have believed half of the things that people came up and told me, it would have been completely different, you know. So it's like, you have to have that short-term mentality if you're going to be successful. You got to keep your mind and your wits about you at all times. And you walk a batter, you got to face the next one. All right, let's just roll a double play in the middle and get this thing over with. So low and outside and get this guy to hack on something. You can't let every single thing run through your mind all the time. And that's what Corey and I would talk about too. Is, by the way, you can tell I talked a lot of production and game strategy with Corey. That probably never got seen.
It's on the feed story. Yeah.
Yeah. So we, I tried to get him because that dude didn't sleep. Like, he might have got a couple hours of sleep every night, and it wasn't because he was staying up late, game talking and doing all this kind of stuff. Dude just didn't sleep. His mind was constantly going, and in his upbringing and the things that he was accustomed to working through, he did it alone. He did it by himself. I mean, so he could plot out things, and he had concrete variables to work his way through life problems. But he didn't come up in a world to rely on team stuff, to rely on having to cope with working with people and stuff like that. So it was hard to try to get him to understand not thinking about every piece of the game all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you ever watch that TV show Community?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brian's a huge Community fan.
They have the one episode of the die,
yeah,
where they roll the die, and there were 6 different outcomes in the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's brain, and a lot of people, I can see it in the house right now, they're so wrapped up in finding the inroads in all 6 scenarios to prepare themselves for whatever may happen. They're so rigid and structured in attempting to plot out successes and failures in all 6 routes that they're not staying committed to the moment.
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss right now because I was inside myself thinking for the last hour on all of these outcomes and plotting out all this stuff that I didn't even have that conversation with so-and-so today, which was a crucial vote.
Mm-hmm.
You get wrapped up in all of it. You have to block the noise out and focus on this one thing right now. I got to make this first down. If I don't, then the other 5 outcomes don't even fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter to me because I have to make this one thing happen right now. So keeping short-term memory and just keeping your mind focused on logical outcomes. That's all you can do.
Yeah. I think that's like the thing that separates Big Brother from like any other game is the length and the downtime, and like how you can, if you are a player like Corey, who, trying to put myself in the mindset, I feel like I would be, super fan of the show, want to have all the scenarios that would drive like players crazy, and just like you're going stir crazy, but you're also like in the midst of a game.
I didn't grow up having everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Blue collar. My dad was a coach. My mom worked at a hospital. She was an office manager. Like, I came up blue collar. So I had to go without sometimes. I wasn't poor, but damn, dude, my family had to make decisions and had to do without stuff. So a lot of people go into that house and it's a complete culture shock to them because, like, a younger player will be thrust into this fire with life experienced people, and they're not accustomed to having to make things happen.
Mhm.
They're accustomed to showing up and the thing is there for them. The car's paid
Right.
for. The cell phone, the bill has been paid. Like the mortgage is good. I got money saved up in case so and so breaks their arm, and we gotta,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're used to making life decisions, and you throw a Lauren in the mix,
And MJ last season, somebody I'm thinking
right?
of.
You throw these people in the mix that have never been confronted with life adversity. They've never had that, so they're constantly thinking about all of the bad outcomes that could possibly happen. And someone that's a little bit more life experienced goes, all right, let me kind of shut all this out, make myself a list of bills that need to be paid. How much money do I have in the bank? What am I going to do if this doesn't work out? I got money for this. I can call this person, get this. Like, we think through a bunch of different stuff and block out the world and make it happen. And you can tell the type of players that go into the house that have never been confronted with those types of legitimate life decisions.
Right.
You can tell that they have a harder time differentiating between gameplay and, something that should just have been lined up for them. They're not used to having to attack the day, not knowing what's the outcome tomorrow. And they're trying their hardest to try to figure out, how can I plan for the whoops-a-daisies? And
Yep.
in a scenario like that, they're not used to just throwing Hail Marys and going, good God, I hope that check doesn't bounce by the time it hits the bank. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They don't know real gambles,
Mhm.
life gambles, and just going, stick to it, run with it. This is what my heart says, and go for it. Try so hard to make the mental answer happen that they just get lost in the weeds. And you can kind of see that from Lauren right now. How much have y'all seen over her past two episodes?
Yeah. Right.
On the
She's
feed,
like,
you don't even
she
see
is
her.
like, shit, I have to disappear for a little while. I gotta
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, God, bless her heart. I felt so, when she won HOH, I felt so bad. I was like, this is going to be the worst week of her life.
Yeah.
I think you were pretty spot on with that.
It's just so
y'all know
interesting.
Steph, BB Steph, she does a bunch of commentary.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Y'all know
yeah.
her. Anyways,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
texted BB Steph and I was like, this
Follow
poor
her
girl
on-
is about to go through a world of hurt. She's about to age 10 years in that house right now.
I think she could have done with aging 10 years. I think if she had aged 10 years, she might have had a better age.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good.
She got thrown in the fire really early. And I said, welcome to Big Brother. Because you don't know the struggles of sprouting gray hairs in a damn HOH room. That place can humble a man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think we're seeing that so much with this season. Is like, it feels like a lot of the players just didn't realize what they were signing up for, and they're kind of like getting, they're kind of getting smacked in the face by the game a little bit.
Yeah, you don't know what it is until you get there and you go, oh shit, I was completely wrong. There's some things that are 100% exactly what you thought they would be, and then there's other things where you go like, oh my God, I definitely miscalculated on that one.
Mm-hmm. What was like the biggest
there are
thing for
some
you?
fun stuff. There's some funny stuff though. Like I have like a prediction radar this season. It's kind of easy a little bit from talking to people, knowing the format of production and understanding how they set up and break specific games down, and knowing their shooting schedule. I've had a pretty good bead on what type of competitions are coming up each week. So if have any of you ever looked at the Big Brother house on Google Maps or anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did it last week.
Right. It's I like to show it to people and go, here's the house.
It's a
Here's what
warehouse.
you think the house is. And like show it to people.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, there's like the sound, the studio lot is about like this, right?
Yeah.
And the Big Brother is just tiny little right here. And it's three huge bays, three huge sound stages.
Mhm.
One of them is the Big Brother house, and it connects to the backyard. You can see that's the first thing. That first little sliver up front right there by the big roll-up door, that's where the audience is. That's the stage. That's Julie's office. That's where she does her work right there, baby.
Right.
So you get that little sliver in that front. The rest of it is all house and behind the mirrors, you can use all the cameras and all the, you got the control room, and I can plot out the whole, backstage for you. It was really cool going on reindeer games. We kind of got to see all that kind of stuff behind
That's
the
cool.
scenes.
Yeah.
But there's 3 bays. Boom, boom, boom. That first bay, little sliver stage, whole Big Brother house, backyard. The next bay over is they have access to that too, and that one is where they shoot the Friday episodes. So you see Derek and Taylor in them. That's that huge bay right there. That's why it looked so eerily similar to the Blockbuster competition that Kelly and them just did, because that was the layout. If you look in the background, that was the setup for Friday. And so we have competitions in the backyard. I can now see that they do the Blockbuster in Soundstage 19, I think is what's called 18, 19, 20. And so that tells me that the competition will be in one of these 2 places. But what people don't know is Big Brother also has access to what we call the basement. Have y'all heard about the basement?
Yep. I think that's where they did a lot of the VIP pass challenges and the All-Star.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. The timed stuff.
Yeah.
If it's individual timed competitions, that's going to be in the basement. If it's completely blackout competition in the dark, basement. If it's tiny veto, basement. If like all these little things they can set up. So, so they have 3 kind of locations, and so if I see something coming up, and like I knew when Lauren won HOH that it was going to be a true false, because I was like, well, how many people do they have left? Got it. What did they just do for veto? Got it. That's going to take time to break down, and they're also going to use that for the HOH coming up, which they did. That was where they did the running thing, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, that means that the competition is going to be true false. And I was like, okay, who's going to be the type of person that I think would be good at true false? And so I was completely wrong on that, but at least I got the competition right. So it's always fun to tell people that the Big Brother house is a sound stage, and the other bays people don't realize is where they do other competitions. Everybody thinks everything is just in the backyard. So like people don't realize that, like in my season, we were short on staffing. I mean, it was in the middle of writer strike, actor strike, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So we only got backyard access like 2 or 3 days out of the week. It was insane. But they get it like immediately, almost every day now. And I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah.
Because the backyard is life. If there's no backyard in the house, morale is dead. Like you need that sunshine. You just need outdoor life. I need that to stretch my legs. Just get out of the house and go sit in a corner if I want to, or do whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm super jealous of this entire season, but primarily by the fact that they have such good production team that is breaking down and putting these competitions up, and they get plenty of backyard access, and they're figuring it all out. That's why I meant to say this. That's why I always thought that the way that the Blockbuster contestants enter back into the house and they tell them the winner, that's always so awkward for me.
Yeah.
But, that's Julie's thing. She likes to present to people with the information. I think they could just do a better way of presenting the winner. Just like, and the winner is blah, blah, blah. Now y'all walked out. But the whole trying to act sad and stoic and all this kind of, like, it's weird to me. I digress.
I think they probably just show them. Like I don't
Just let them watch
the competition on the screen. It's very weird.
That's how I know that the Blockbuster is played in Soundstage 19, because you have to enter that stage a very specific way, and the only way that you can do that is to either go through the soundstage, and you can't do that because the whole audience is there. You can't have access. You can't see the audience. But there is another back door that you can take from the upstairs diary room. I don't know if y'all know there's 2 diary rooms.
Yeah.
So the upstairs diary room has an exit that leads out, and you go down the stairs. There's a control room. Downstairs is also, there's a door that goes into Downstage 19. All of that is like behind the scenes right there. So that's why they enter and exit through the top floor. I always thought it looked stupid. Like, why are y'all coming in through that and stuff?
Right.
Now I know, like, that makes total sense, because they have to come in through there, or they'll be seen by the audience.
Mhm.
So you can't.
Well, also too, they have to do the competitions there because they're doing HOH comp the same night, and that's going to be in the backyard usually.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they
So
can't
that's
do
why they
both.
just locked down a whole other stage.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
the basement is kind of weird. I wish y'all could see it. There's a weird way that you got to walk to it. You got to like come through the sound. You got to come down across the stage. You got to come across the stage, walk outside, walk down, past sound stage 19, walk down some steps, go into like right under sound stage 19, under where they do Blockbuster, and there's like an employee gym. There's like a storage area. There's like all kinds of you're like walking past just dust and boxes. You like weave around this area. You walk back outside again on the other side by the LA River, where there's just basically it's just a concrete ditch, but they call it the LA River. And you walk down that way, and then you come back into Soundstage 20, where now you walked into boom. Here's this underground competition. So I like it because they can definitely set up lighting and do some really cool camera work in there, which is I loved it. Like the competition I did, I forget all their names now, but the Exorcist thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
PB Exorcism, I think it was called. Whatever. And we had to wade through all that haunted dark ass house with these tiny little lights on our heads. It was really cool to see how they put us completely in the dark and have this whole sound stage set up in this basement that they put up in like a few days. Kudos to production, man. That's I get bigger kick out of seeing how they put all of it together and like the scheduling. I get a bigger kick out of all that shit than the game itself. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're a very impressive, people give production crap for various things, but like the fact that they're able to like make this show and get the episodes turned around, I'm a video editor,
the fact
I
that
know,
they
it's
get
crazy.
people give production crap is exactly why production does it. Don't think you're getting one over on them. They know they got the master plan, dude.
Right.
If they're only letting you look at one conversation on all 4 screens of your feeds right now, it's because they're cooking up some shit on the ones they're not showing you.
Right. I saw you had a TikTok where you were upset about that, and I was like,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, you got to play the game.
So, no.
Playing the game. Everybody's mad at feeds. Let me do a video about feeds because I do hate that we're watching one conversation on all 4 screens. But that's because there's a bunch of other stuff going on that they don't want us to see. Not because they're afraid of it or they're trying to paint someone as like the front runner of the favorite player or whatever. They're not trying to make them look good or make someone else look bad or not let someone else look bad. They just want to hold the cards. I mean, they got to answer to a lot of shareholders and insurance companies and all that kind of shit too. So it's like they put a certain conversation out on live feeds that they can't get back. They're gonna get in a little bit of trouble. So they're just saving their own ass too. But the other piece of that is that they get to kind of get you to tune in and show you some interesting stuff that you didn't see on live feeds on the TV. They got to hold some stuff back. So I mean, it's
now
all
even more so with
you can
Friday
look into it and go, oh, there's a reason for everything, but that don't mean you can't bitch about it.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, we do plenty of bitching on this show for sure. But I mean, look, the show has improved in ways that like we've like complained about in the past. Like for instance, like we have had, like I said, a positive take on the Blockbuster. And I think that the changes they made with their competitions in the past few years have been good. I think the competitions have been a lot better, more interesting. Like a wider variety of people have been able to win them, which means that we're getting more people in power, which means that the dynamic of the house is a little bit less stable. So we do have plenty of complaining, but I think that the show is moving in a good direction right now.
And we're supposed to. It's our favorite show. Stop screwing with our thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
But then they do, and we're like, oh, I like that. Good job.
Yeah, we're gonna give credit where it's due.
We're fans. Stop. You can't please us. Just take the bitching.
And I will say we complain a lot less on this show than we do on our Survivor podcast. I think I spend like 90% of my time complaining about.
We can talk
Survivor.
Big Brother, but Survivor pisses me off.
Yeah.
God, I hate that show. I love it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Assholes. Jeff, they
That's
should
about
just
where
call
we're
it Jeff
at.
Probst show. That's, I mean,
Yeah.
what are we? Why are we messing with this, dude? Just go kiss the ring and that's it. Stop messing around. If you ever piss off Jeff before Tribal, you're fucked.
Right. Well, with all these behind the scene things, was there anything that, like, you know, you're a super fan, you go in there, you're like, I'm gonna be prepared for anything. Was there anything that like really caught you off guard that you just weren't anticipating and had to kind of, you know, adjust to on the fly when you finally got in there?
I didn't want to win anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to play a good social game. I wanted to go in and take my time, which we'll get into that in a second. But I wanted to play a good game. I wanted to take my time. I wanted to establish relationships, and I wanted to play some cool Big Brother. I wanted to make some big moves, but I wanted to protect myself, and I wanted to play the game. But you know, that first week or two happens, and you make one misstep or one bobble, and you're painted in a certain light. You know, if you piss off the person that has everyone's ear, you know, now you're the devil, dude. You're the worst person on planet Earth because that one person didn't like you and people are listening to them. So that one person doesn't like you. And now not only are you public enemy number one, you've just made it very easy for yourself to be on the block every week. So it got to a point where if you were seen talking to me, you were in trouble.
Right.
I was like the plague. I mean, so like you can't have a social game with an inability to speak to people. Like all of my conversations basically just turned into surface level conversations. We would talk a little bit of game, but no one wanted to pry. No one wanted to really get in there. And like we were talking about Kelly, one of the reasons they never even wanted to pry because they were like, "You're not going to be here long, so
Right.
I'm not wasting
Not
any
worth
time on you."
Yeah.
So I was just always battling this. Well, why make a deal with Cameron if we don't? I mean, we got to get him gone, but no one ever thought past. Like when Cameron goes, then
What
what?
next? Yeah.
Like everyone, the whole time I was in the house, there was always a clear objective from everyone. The house was calm, so long as I was there because everyone knew at least I'm not Cameron. I'm good with that. So they knew going into every week, it's like, all right, well, we just got to beat Cameron. If we beat Cameron, everything's good. And it was pretty smooth. So everyone had the ability to sit back, talk, form relationships, get plans together, work together, make in-game plans. And I'm just here scraping pennies for just trying to make it to the next day. So, yeah, the thing that hit me the hardest was I had to come out play in a completely different game than I intended on playing. And I knew that it was a fallacy. I knew that it had a shelf life. I knew that I could only make it so far. So a good ways into the season, I stopped and just looked around. And I was like, dude, you're not winning this game. Like, there's not a single funeral that you can have for yourself that is going to make you a companion to someone. You're out. You're out of moves. You're out of options. You just got to win out and do this thing. I said, well, all right. If that's the case, I have to adjust my aim. I have to shoot at something that I can make happen. And I said, all right, if I just keep winning, keep having good diary sessions, have fun conversations with people in the house, not be an asshole, try to just be cool with everybody, maybe I can make it to jury. If I can make it to jury, I'll get a good check.
Yep.
If I make it to jury, that means that I've been in the house X number of weeks. If I'm in the house for that many weeks, that means I've got this much screen time. That's pretty good. I think I can wrap myself up and be happy with myself as a Big Brother person, someone that came on the show and actually fought their ass off and won some stuff and made a name for themselves. I wasn't just someone that got on the show. I was a big part of the show. I said, I can digest that. I can leave this game knowing I gave everything that I had, and I've made a name for myself. When people think of certain Big Brother seasons, I think that when they think of 25, they'll say Cameron was a pretty big piece of that. That's all I thought. I said, I can handle that. I said, if I get that, that means I make it to jury. I made X number of weeks, X number of screen time. That optimizes my chances of having gotten America's Favorite Player. If I get America's Favorite Player, I get a good paycheck. Might get called back to do another show or two. People know I work well with production. It'll be fun. So
Mhm.
after sitting and thinking all of that stuff, you're not going to win, but you can win America's Favorite. You can make it to jury, and you can have fun for the rest of the time you're here. I knew then I needed to not play too much social game. I just rode the wave after that. That's why you don't see me in any bad moods for the rest of the game. I was like, dude, your shelf life. You've reached your end of your road. So I was like, I'm comfortable with it. So I said, if I'm gonna be able to be America's Favorite Player, if I'm going to make it to jury, well, that means that I have the potential of coming on as an all-star. If I have potential of coming on as an all-star, that means I have potential of going on another show. And if I go on another show, that means people are going to be playing with me that have seen me on this show. I probably don't need to show them all of my cards. So
Right.
I made some strategic moves coming back after my zombie thing. I battled myself back into the house. I made some moves there. And I was like, okay, set myself up for to go a distance. And I was like, I better let off the gas a little bit. And I'd much rather be seen as someone that has shit social game than, anything else. So I can swallow people thinking I'm shit at this game. So long as I can come back and play the actual plan that I really wanted to play the first time I played it.
Right.
To go in calm and go in and not be the target and to make good relationships and not make the bad steps that I made in the first one. So I look forward to potentially being on another show, or God forbid they honor me with asking me to be on All Stars. That would be the coolest thing ever. I would play a much different game,
Yeah.
but a lot of the same, because I'd still want to have that. I still want to have America's Favorite Player flair. I still want to go after big targets and win cool competitions and hang in there, but I don't want to rely on any of that stuff. I want to go in and play a completely different game that no one got to see me play, which is good. And it works out for me because they think I'm dumb or I don't know what I'm doing and I don't have opinions on the matter. And that I play an extremely honest game, and all I needed was one loyal competitor, one person to fight with me. Are you that person? So the biggest part was going into the house thinking I was going to do one thing and having to adjust immediately.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's sorry, go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, I think now that you've had so much time to actually integrate yourself with the alumni community, like you're in a good spot. Like the reindeer games was cool, tough draw to be the new guy with a bunch of people who've known
I
each
had a
other,
blast.
you know?
It was
Yeah.
that was to me, that was nothing more than being invited to the company end of the year camp out.
Right. Yeah.
Like I earned my spot as a salesman to go to sit at the table.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not winning this. Here you go. There's another funny part for you. They called me. I get back to my house in LA on like Sunday night. Tuesday morning, bright and early, they call me. And they're like, hey, I don't know if you remember, but reindeer games, we're going to choose one person from your season. Please say yes. You're the only person we want to do it. And I was like, I mean, what are we doing? And they're like, well, you're going to come and show up. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I can lock down for another. I just got home. And they were like, oh, no, it's going to be like 10 days. It's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be like 2 weeks. We're paying everybody X amount.
Yep.
Flat rate fee. Nobody's getting more than less than the others. If you win, you get this. If you get second place, you get this. Bottom line. And it's just going to be like 2 weeks. Go in there, do some competitions, and if you get eliminated, you have to stay there in LA. You have to stay at the hotel, so that we can have you there just for the finale. You're not going to be making any votes at the end. It's going to be competitive based, but we want you to stick around, for the fun and for all the way through. And I said, okay, wait. So what you're telling me is you want me to fly out to LA and get evicted first, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you just want me to hang out in LA for a couple weeks? And they were like, well, I mean, don't lose, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, basically. And I said, hey, when's my flight? So the coolest part about all of that wasn't even that I got a bad draw and that I didn't do well in the the first episode. The best part about that was that I got to meet all of those people. I got to make those connections. I got to add them to the text roster and do cool stuff with
What a
them.
group.
So it was an amazing thing to meet all of those people and go hang out with them and just talk. Like, not any game stuff, just how was life for you? Man, that's crazy. That happened to me too. What happened to you? And it was like it was like a family. I hadn't, coming back from Big Brother, didn't have really anybody to like tap into. And I mean, everybody, a lot of people reached out. We all reach out to each other each time. I've talked to some of the people that have already left. But to be accepted in that group of big timers was really, really cool. And they were like, dude, get in here, man. You're like our little brother. But ironically, I was older than most of them. That's what was fun. Because I was the rookie. I was the rookie, and like they're like I was like, dude, what are you, 25? What is this?
That's awesome.
Some older people, like Danielle and like Brittany was a little older, but like
it was just funny because I remember riding in the van and just hanging out with Frankie, Brittany, and Danielle, and all four of us being just like riding and hanging out together and us talking. Frankie telling me, all of his aspirations and things that he's lining up, and he's doing them right now. Right? Amazing stuff. Dude was on freaking Tonight Show. Stop it, dude. What's up?
Yeah.
Right.
Love Frankie. And
we're big fans.
I remember Brittany and Danielle talking about, man, it would be cool if both of us got traders, wouldn't it? And I was like, yeah. Two of y'all would get traders. Like, how would you do that? And Danielle was like, I'd be a trader, first off. I'd be a trader, and I would backstab traders. And I was like, oh, shit, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, it was so fun. Like, just jiving with everybody. And that was an experience that I treasure that. People bring up reindeer games reluctantly to me, and I was like, nah, dude, that was some of the coolest shit I've ever done in my life. What are you talking about? Cody got eliminated right after me. Me and Cody went ham on Olive Garden and Outback. Dude, we went to that place every day. I knew the bartender's schedule. We would just mess around. It was awesome. It was the time of my life. And yeah, so everyone talks about, I don't want to bring up reindeer games. Dude, that was this is the coolest shit ever, man.
Yeah, especially for you as such a big fan, that like that group of players had to be like unreal.
Yeah, well, that's when I met all of them, but I got some close friends out of that. I mean, I talked to Tiffany to this day, who's another trader. And I'm like, dude, we got 3 traders off of one season of 10 days. And Dan Reindeer.
When are you going to Scotland? Come on.
Exactly. Can't wait. But my CBS contract ends in November, and I will officially be a free agent, and I'll have the opportunity to go do different networks. I would love that. Traders would be amazing. That or Deal or No Deal Island. Those are the 2 that I'd be like, yep.
Yeah.
But that would be, of course, my luck.
That one.
My luck.
Yeah.
Not speaking ill, but my luck would be Big Brother would call me for All Stars, and I'm like, shit, I really wanted to do Traders.
Are you then locked into a contract from like the new cycle for the same amount of time?
The second contract that you sign with a network, you got a little bit of leverage for negotiation. I mean, that first one that you signed with CBS, they're like, sign it or fucking go home, and you're like,
right, yeah.
That.
Yeah.
So, but the second one, you're like, hey man, I don't want you to lock me down for this network for X amount of months. I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to go to this show, or you can name your price, because there's lump sums that go out to those people. And if I told you what some of the people got paid to go on Traders, you'd blush.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I believe it. I believe the number.
Can you imagine what Johnny Bananas, like the #1 reality star in the world, can you imagine what Johnny Bananas asked to go on the show and get gone first? Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, at least he did better on House of Villains.
I would have named a price tag that would have made China blush. Like, they'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's no way I'm signing that.
Yeah.
I would have asked for the moon, man.
Well, I guess, yeah, when, not to get too pie in the sky, but have there been any shows that you've, you already said Deal or No Deal Island, Traders, but like anything that you're potentially eyeing that you'd love to have the opportunity to play?
Oddly enough, I mean, those are the first 2 or 3 that I definitely would choose. It would be cool to get on Amazing Race, but I mean, they just did an entire Big Brother season, which you're about to see, and it's gonna be bomb. You're gonna love it. They didn't ask me to do that because I think I had already done reindeer games. They're like, let's get these other people a shot at their second show. And Survivor. Well, I didn't want to be on season 49 because I didn't want to be on a forgotten season because everybody's kind of talking about 49, but on their mind, all they're thinking about is
that's what always happens.
50.
The big 50. All they want to talk about is what's going on in season 50. So I was like, dude, I'm not going to go on the season before the big season. Like, that's not going to work. So if I was going to audition to go on Survivor, I would do it for 51. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to do Survivor. Amazing Race. I don't know if my knees can handle that. I mean, I'm out of the Army, but that's a number on I don't know if I could run across the world for a while.
Yeah.
So I'd be a little reluctant to do Amazing Race, but I would have 100% do it if they called me. But funny enough, there was some other countries that were looking into me, like Traders UK or Big Brother UK. One time, one up in like the Netherlands called me, and I was like, dude, I don't know what y'all are saying. Like, I don't know that I'm gonna really jive here,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to like the beginning of next year, like at the end of this year when my contract's done and I have the actual opportunity to be able to contact these networks and actually be a potential cast member. That's awesome. So yeah, I would love to do any of the big ones on CBS. Of course, Traders, everyone who's anybody wants Traders.
Of course, yeah.
And I like Deal or No Deal Island. I think that's cool. And I've seen all these other competition shows that are starting to show up too that I think would be
Destination X.
awesome. This would be really cool to do. Like Extraction looks really cool.
I love Extraction.
I want to see a reality personality in them woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you picture Janelle fighting for her life? I'm trying to figure out how to make fire.
I'm gonna hit the button after like 12 hours. I love Janelle, but
whatever amount of money Extraction has, they don't got that kind of money. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
You ain't talking Janelle into going out there, but I just think it would be a cool idea. So any of those type of shows, dude, I think it would be really cool. But if Big Brother calls, they have
that's the first. That's number one.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is though, like I imagine if they were eyeing an All-Star season in the near future, they wouldn't have dropped Rachel into this season. They would have saved her for that.
I think they would have done that specifically.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
Why not? I was an English major. All I do is counter your arguments.
I mean,
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to bring on a big name like Rachel, who's going to play in a very different landscape, and it be shown how different the game is now.
Yeah,
like, that's purpose. I think that's purposeful. They're showing what the game is now as opposed to what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to bring on an all-star season of Big Brother would be very different. You would get a Casey comeback, right? You would get Taylor. You would get X. You would get Jag. You're going to get competitors that are going to go in and make Thursdays insane.
Yep.
And I think someone like Rachel is showing that, and it's further justifying their decisions for whenever they decide on who to pick for All-Stars.
Good point.
Yeah,
and you have someone like Rachel who's played multiple
They're always
times.
a step ahead.
Like, yeah,
Rachel's just a guinea pig.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, the Rachel is the transition. The door has been opened for new era Big Brother.
Yeah. Hey, at Survivor, Edge of Extinction to Survivor Winners at War, like they put 4 All-Stars out there to kind of test the format of the Edge of Extinction before they put the winners out there. So
I mean, Challenge does it every year. The vets versus the rookies is nothing more than holding on to their audience for the vets and figuring out who the new ones are going to be.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's smart the challenge can probably go on indefinitely if you're constantly building up the new players, right?
This is a season 27 is a transition season. We're exposing the fact that Big Brother is now at the whim of production. It's an insane tale, and you just have to. You gotta compete. You gotta go in there and you gotta show up every day. You can make as many relationships as you possibly can, but who shows up on Veto and who shows up on Blockbuster?
Yeah. Would you do the challenge? Is that one that you're eyeing?
Oh yeah, I didn't say that
Yeah.
one, but 100%. I hope I'm not in a bracket to where I'm seen as an older player, therefore out of the mix of being included on a rookie, younger competitive season. Because let's face it, Challenge has a younger audience than Big Brother.
That's
I
true.
have a
That's fair,
particular I have a particular fan base of people that really love me, and those type of people. You're going to get a little bit of the Venn diagram and the crossover of those people that actually love Challenge too. But when you think of Challenge fans, they're not showing up with, their grandmas to come get something signed from you.
Sure.
It's not happening. It's a different world. So it's like they would bring someone like a Cedric on. Cedric is a perfect fit for something like that. A dude that's just young, awesome, got his whole life ahead of him. He's clearly got wronged in his first season, so something
I got raw deal.
That makes sense. America, Blue, they have those type of fans. It's perfect casting. So I don't know that they would call me, but I damn sure would say, hey, throw my hat in the ring.
Yeah.
I have to get my ass back in
American
football
Blue are
shape,
on.
though,
Maybe
'cause
they
I
can
am
put
not-
in a
not ready for that type of life yet. It'd take me a couple months to get back up to that.
Yeah, no, I think like the first time I saw the challenge where they just run into each other, the hall brawl, I was like, I don't know if this would be the show for me. I don't know.
Yeah, it scared away some people. They were like, damn, we better.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, that'll be the day when the Big Brother Blockbuster competition is go out there and knock the shit out of each other. Just throwing bows, running in the sand, cutting your face up and getting bloody. Dude.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's Keanu versus Kelly in a pole wrestle, like Kelly's coming out with no teeth,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly's going to come out with pocket sand. Keanu's going to be like, I'm blind. It's not working. But, well, all right, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was fantastic.
A lot of fun.
Awesome.
So thank you guys for
really
having me. I want to do it again.
appreciate
Please
you.
let me. I want to do it again. Maybe the next one won't be so
Yeah.
long-winded because we've covered a lot of topics. Next time I come back, we can just drop right into gameplay. What's going on?
Yeah, well, we really appreciate you coming on. You're the first, former player to be on the Have Not Room. So that's, huge for us. Like, we really, really appreciate it. And
really
do you have anything you want to promote or like get out there?
Yeah, the fact that I'm on the Have Not, and I actually never was a Have Not, so it works out.
Oh, hey, there's that. Are you on Cameo? Anything like that you want to drive people
Yeah,
to?
I'm on Cameo, but I ain't worried about any of that stuff.
Right.
If you guys love me, shoot me a text, shoot me a message. You guys clearly see I'm willing to talk to people. I love that. I love the fans. I love this show. I love this community. This has been my life since I was, a young teen. I was in this shit. I love Big Brother. And the fact that it's reaching a bigger audience now and more fans are showing up and it's starting to take over a little bit more of a TikTok following and people are witnessing what an amazing show this is. They're not just talking about it and it just going in one ear and out the other on Twitter. People are seeing these things and it's growing and it's building. And I love the fact that I can sit here and have a 2.5-hour conversation with 3 random guys about my favorite thing. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. So the only thing that I would plug coming out of this is if you're a fan and if you're seeing this, send me a message. I want to follow you too. I want to see your work. I want to comment on the cool opinions that you have in the show. I want to give you behind the scenes insights. I want to help you with your audition videos. Like, I want to do that stuff. I want to give back to the community that's definitely given me way more than I've ever deserved. I love this show. I love the fans. I love everything about it. And I'm just so proud of what our show, my little show about a bunch of people in a house that I fell in love with at a young age. My little show now is reaching millions and millions of people, and it's so much fun to share this thing with them from an alumni standpoint and be able to share more love for the show. You guys love the show, and I hope that I gave you a little piece of something tonight that makes you go, wow, dude, that makes me love the show more. So that's all I want to do is to plug the fans and say thank you. Thank you for providing others with access to something that has been gate kept for way too long. Thank you for making content. Thank you for having podcasts. Thank you for tweeting about it and making funky edits of me when my shirt rises up ever so slightly to like crazy R. Kelly music. So it's like,
Right.
continue to make the content and be fans, man. Be unapologetically Big Brother stands on this thing, man. I love it. And I just want to thank you guys so much for having me. This has been really cool. And I just want you guys to keep doing what you're doing and raising so much awareness for this thing that we call Big Brother.
Yeah. And like this season, I was like, I'm just going to try to take TikTok seriously, throw it out there. Never thought, you or any player would reach out and be like, hey, I'm super down to come talk for multiple hours on a podcast. So like Cam said, if you like Big Brother, just go for it. Just, who knows where you could end up.
Hashtags. Use hashtags.
Yes.
These guys never used hashtags, I would have never found them, because my Big Brother, my TikTok algorithm is like heavy Big Brother and First Amendment auditors.
Right.
just
Oh,
cops doing walks of shame. That's all. That's what I watch. But yeah, so use hashtags and reach out. Don't just make a dumb video. Like, do it with purpose, and you're gonna reach people that are like you, like us. And this is a community, man. This is some shit we love to talk about, and like, it binds us all together. So thank you guys. Lastly, thank you.
Hey,
This is really cool, and I want to do this again throughout the season. So please have me again.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. I'll send you my number. We'll get this all going.
Awesome, man. It's great to meet you guys. I really appreciate it. Like, don't be strangers. Please message me questions, videos, anything, dude. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that you guys are in the Big Brother family.
Hey, thanks so much for welcoming us so graciously. And thanks for all of you for checking out this episode. If you've gotten this far, for real, thank you. 2.5 hours. I know it's a crazy trek, but we will see you post Thursday after the eviction to see who goes, who wins the blockbuster, all of that. But until next time, thanks for watching.